Whopper, 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 Junior, Double, Triple, Whopper, Impossible or
Hello, everybody. Well, how it goes today?
So I'm going to give you a little background. Thomas Sowell is an economist. So that's his background, and he writes books. It's Thomas Sowell. If you see this, I would love to interview you, please.
Come on, Thomas.
A young person I'd never met introduced himself to me and said that when he saw our guest today on an earlier episode of this program, he felt he was seeing a man who knew how to think. Dr. Thomas Sowell on Uncommon Knowledge now. Welcome to Uncommon Knowledge. I'm Peter Wilson. Thomas Sowell has studied and taught economics, intellectual history, and social policy at institutions that include Cornell, Brandeis, UCLA, and Amherst. Now a senior fellow at the Hoover Institution, Dr. Sowell has published more than a dozen books, including the classic A Conflict of Visions. Coming soon, a revised edition of his most recent volume, Discrimination and Disparities. Tom Sowell, welcome. Thank you.
Before I get into it, it's like, for me, it's cool to see like this black people in like spaces like that, and to hear like the accolades. I feel like they're out there, but we just up here. I was like wondering, but that's how I went.
Yeah, I think part of his problem is he hates the media. He really doesn't do interviews often. And he's still so well known in this space too.
Yeah. If you know, you know.
Grew up in Harlem, dropped out of high school to join the Marine Corps during the Korean War, received an undergraduate degree from Harvard, a master's from Columbia, and your doctorate from the University of Chicago. All of which pales by comparison to the fact that you once tried out for the Brooklyn Dodgers. But during this period, from Harlem to the University of Chicago, throughout your 20s, you've said, you spent most of the decade of your 20s as a Marxist. Yes.
Oh, wait. You know what a Marxist is?
No, I was like, who?
Wait, I want to Google it to make sure I get the definition right, but I think that just means more class. I knew that on the screen.
By the way.
Okay. Marxism is a method of socioeconomic analysis that uses materialistic interpretation of historical... I want to say just more liberal. We'll just go with that.
Yeah, I still was saying.
Sorry, let us know in the comments.
Break it down.
They be using big words.
Yeah, I'm like, I still don't understand. And then I have to Google the big words that they use in the definition. And it's like, huh.
I think it's just more left, like leaning more liberal.
Okay.
Why? What was the attraction?
Well, I guess I first was very puzzled. See, there's one little correction I would make. At age 16, I was a dropout, high school dropout, and I went to work full time as a Western Union messenger.
Delivering telegrams. We better say that because there will be a generation that won't know what Western Union was. But go ahead.
Yeah, that's true too.
Right.
And so I worked in the area of Manhattan called the Chelsea District, which is around 23rd Street, 9th Avenue. And at the end of the day, I had several ways of getting back home. The easiest, fastest way was a subway, which was a nickel in those days. When I was feeling flush, I might go for a bus for a dime. And then when I was really getting reckless, I would take the Fifth Avenue bus, which was the elite of the buses, was 15 cents. So I would walk over to Fifth Avenue, take that bus, and it would take me up through all the glamorous parts of Fifth Avenue, past the Empire State Building, past the great stores and things of that sort. And then on 57th Street, it would turn, and this is just the elite part of town.
Sure, right there where the park starts.
Yes, and then this park starts at 59th.
Oh, sorry.
57th, I would turn on up to about 70th Street and it would go out to Fifth Avenue, out to Riverside Drive. Why is this? I mean, why this huge disparity? And there was nobody else. There was no other explanation around. There was nothing there other than Marxism. And I stumbled across. I had not read Marx, but I bought a secondhand set of encyclopedias, small set, for some ridiculously low price. And there.
Where you grew up, did you ever, where it's like one road can have all these nice big houses, but then on the next block it's just like completely different.
I grew up on 40 acres.
Okay.
So we didn't really have like neighbors.
I grew up on a bunch of land.
Was that how it was where you grew up?
Kind of. I grew up in like a township, so it was a small town and it had like farms on the outskirts. But as soon as you got out of the town and into the next city, so the next city for me, it was Holly, and then Fenton was the next city. It was nice. And then it was like Davisburg and Waterford were the next cities over, and those were like nice areas. They always called Holly like the rednecks, a podunk town, because we had a lot of farms and stuff in it. So I saw that a little bit growing up. I didn't see it a lot more until I got to California. Where I'm at in California, it's like low income area, but literally if you drive up the street, it's houses, nice area, and it's such a big difference, but like within seconds or minutes between each other. And I've always wondered like why is that, and I just was wondering if you had experience.
Actually, when you're talking, I remembered it was like that in Milwaukee. How I think about it, like Milwaukee, they had a town called Shortage, I think it was, or Shorewood. That's it.
Shortage is out.
Yeah, no, Shorewood. And I was in downtown Milwaukee, and like where I lived, it was like not a safe area. Like my car got broken into a couple times. Yeah. Partially because I forgot to lock it.
So it didn't really get broken into.
Okay, you were still not supposed to. I didn't really have anything in it, but they took my charger. I was salty, okay? I could not charge my car. Next. And like a couple coins, but I was like, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But at least I didn't take the whole car.
Exactly, so they didn't hotwire it. That was online, but hotwire it.
No. So then. But like I moved that summer into like with my church.
Oh, okay.
And that the people I lived with, it was like the nicest area.
Okay, gotcha.
Like so it's interesting, but that was within a couple miles, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Like complete opposite ends.
It's crazy, and if you get deeper into like LA, it's even broader, and it's interesting.
Yeah.
Looked up Karl Marx, I'd heard the name, and the stuff that he said seemed to make sense. And then later on, I would get more and more into it. The argument was that the rich had gotten rich by taking from the poor.
Right.
And well, that was one explanation. But what is interesting, there was no other explanation out there really, and that's true largely in our colleges, universities today.
But so by the time you went to Harvard undergrad, you drop out at the age of 16,
Mm-hmm.
and you start reading Marx in your late teens.
I started reading Marx, yes, 1949, at age 19.
Age 19. And then you were in the Marine Corps for a couple of years. What was it, 2-3 years?
2 years. It was actually 1 year, 11 months, and 5 days, but who's counting?
All right. So by the time you went to Harvard, you had already become intellectually engaged with Marxism.
Yes.
And remained, and Harvard didn't talk you out of it, and the study of economics at Harvard didn't talk you out of it, nor did getting a master's at Columbia, nor did getting a doctorate at Chicago dissuade you from Marxism? Is that, and you studied with Milton Friedman of all people. How could you have sat in Milton Friedman's classroom and remained a Marxist?
I'm going to give you a little bit of background. So when he's saying, like, how could you be a Marxist, he's saying, like, more liberal economic policies. I think, guys, I could be wrong. So, like, basically more like free stuff from the government, where conservatives are more like individualistic policies.
Okay.
Which they're going to get more into. So the economist they're talking about is a very conservative economist. So he's saying, how could you have, like, studied with him and still come out left?
Okay, and the guy that he was studying with is more individual.
Yeah, individualistic policies,
Okay.
so less like government handouts. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Want a second income stream? Because if you can download an app from the App Store, then you can now build a passive six-figure income stream within weeks, even if you're already slammed with work, family, and everything else. And you don't need to invest a penny in real estate or...
What really changed me was not the University of Chicago. It was my first job working in a professional capacity for the government. I was a summer intern.
This is after Chicago?
Or no, I was still a graduate student.
Got it.
And so during the summer vacation, I worked in the U.S. Department of Labor, and I began to realize, from a number of things, that the government is not simply the personification of the general will, like Rousseau or others. The government is an the government institutions have their own institutional interests. One involved the minimum wage law. I was a big supporter of that, but I also knew that there was an argument that minimum wage law simply priced low-wage workers out of a job. And my first assignment was dealt with minimum wages in Puerto Rico. And as I looked at the numbers, I would see as they would jack up the minimum wage, the number of jobs would go down and so forth. But there were two explanations. One was that of the economists, that you price the people out of a job, and the other was that there were hurricanes that had come to Puerto Rico. You see, during the sugar harvesting, and therefore, and I was studying the sugar industry, and therefore it destroyed a lot of the crop. Therefore, you wouldn't hire as many workers. Now, in Chicago, I'd been taught that if there are two different theories, there should be some empirical evidence and principle that could distinguish what would happen under one theory from what would happen under the other.
Right.
And so I wrestled with that for most of the summer. And one morning I came in and I said, I got it. What we need are data on the amount of sugar cane standing in the fields before the hurricane struck. And as I waited for the congratulations, I could see stricken looks around me in the room. Like, this guy has stumbled on something that will ruin us all. You know? And they said, well, we don't have those data. I said, oh, I'll bet the Department of Agriculture has it. He said, well, but that doesn't mean we have it.
I think that people, like he was saying, have certain data to make things better, but it wouldn't benefit them, so they don't bring it out.
Yet you can't unsee it. Once you see it, you can't
I
unsee
always
it.
thought that, but I didn't want it to be true.
Well, it's because like the minimum wage law, it's so easy. Like that you can be. I think you don't even need to be an economist to understand that if you jack the price up of something, less people are gonna do it.
Yeah.
So a lot, you know who hurts a lot from minimum wage law is teenagers. Yeah, because if you say we're only hiring people, like let's say they jacked it up to 30 an hour, we're the first people that are gonna go. The least skilled.
Yeah.
Teenagers.
Okay.
And low skilled people that are trying to move up, but they can't get those jobs. Yeah, and like that's like to me that's so why did when they march the streets and they act like they're fighting for the little guy? They're saying, oh, we're doing this for poor people, but that's not what happens. My parents run a business.
Yeah.
If you jack up the prices, they either go to other countries and hire people, or they just don't. They figure out how to hire it. You see the McDonald's here, the kiosks.
Thing that I wanted to say that I noticed about him, because he was like, because the interviewer had given his accolades and his backgrounds. And then he was like, "I'm gonna make one correction," and he went through it to like whole life story. And I'm like, that's one thing about old black people. They're gonna give you every single detail about their life. It's like you could give like the big points, but they're gonna say, "I walked here 5 minutes, and I turned left, went right, then I walked 5 minutes that way. I spun around." They're gonna give you every single little detail. I love it. I love it.
You'd have to have a request go up the chain of command to the Secretary of Labor. He would then confer with the Secretary of Agriculture. It would come down the chain of command in the Department of Agriculture to whoever has those numbers. And so I said, good. Well, they say a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So I will now submit my request to the Secretary of Labor, which I did. And I am still patiently awaiting this reply.
And the institutional fear of the number was what? That it would...
The U.S. Department of Labor administers the minimum wage law.
I see.
And the money and the careers of perhaps a third or some other significant percentage of the Labor Department's resources come from administering the minimum wage law. One of the real farces of all this is that the law itself, Section 4D, I still remember, requires the Labor Department to study the employment effects of minimum wages. And those studies are absolutely a farce. In fact, some years after I left, I did an article saying why those studies were a farce. And when I came back later on to the Labor Department to do some research, one of the older librarians who remembered me turned to the younger librarian and she said, "This is the man who wrote that article that has everybody up in arms."
So you began to be dissuaded of Marxism
and of government in general, because the government is not out there as the personification of the national interest.
Right.
They have their own interests, and the Labor Department was clearly an interest in keeping the minimum wage because that's their jobs and careers and power.
Which brings us, if I may, to one of my favorite books, your 2000 book. This is a beat-up old copy. Mm-hmm. This book, Conflict of Visions.
Yes.
Which you published in 2007, and you lay out. I'm sorry.
1987.
I beg your pardon. 1987.
Reprinted in 2007.
Well, beat up as this book is, it turns out this is a reprint. Sorry, 1987, and you lay out two competing ways of looking at economics and policy. Really, two competing ways of looking at life that go back at least 200 years: the constrained vision and the unconstrained vision. The constrained vision, I'm quoting from A Conflict of Visions, sees the evils of the world as deriving from the limited and unhappy choices available, given the inherent moral and intellectual limitations of human beings, close quote. So the constrained vision understands itself as constrained by the limitations of reality itself.
Yes.
That's correct?
Yes.
Okay.
In other words, they cannot proceed as so many do, that good things happen automatically, but bad things are somebody's fault.
Got it.
That if someone has a constrained vision, do you think that they can change their vision? I don't know if that's something that he talks about, is how you can go from like a constrained vision to seeing things non-constrained.
Yeah, I mean, some people switch. Like, people, because I think, now guys, I'm not, I could be butchering this, but from my understanding, it's kind of like when you hear people talking about how everything's the world's fault.
Okay.
So that's like basically a constrained vision, is saying, like, the world is the cause of my problems.
So it's kind of like not taking...
Yeah, so it's like me saying, oh, I'm a girl. I can't, like, all these bad things happen to me because I'm a girl.
Okay.
And this, I think, guys, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but that's what I'm pretty sure.
Okay. That's interesting because...
Take one.
Hold on. What makes Michael's custom framing different is when we have a customer at the counter, it's one-on-one. I'm teaching the customer about frames, mass, designs, a combination.
It's interesting because there's people that live their lives like that, like, oh, I can't do this, this, and this because I am whoever I am, and vice versa. And if you look different, if you're a different ethnicity, and this, that, and third, and nobody's been in that sector of whatever it is, it's going to be harder because either you're the first to do it or you're in a bracket where not a lot of people have done it. But just to be like, I can't do it because I'm this, it's like you're not even trying. It's just you're already giving up before you even give yourself a chance.
Well, and you know what I've noticed? The people that do break barriers and those sort of things, they never really bring it up. They don't look at themselves like through that lens. And it's interesting because an example I thought of is when we did that show, when we were talking about consumer debt. Remember when we did that live show?
Yes.
And they were like, oh, the reason women have bad credit is because we just want to look like better. It's society, all this stuff. But instead of just saying, no, we spend too much and make poor buying choices. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, like
versus like
improvement of the human condition, the constrained vision relies on certain social processes such as moral traditions, the marketplace, or families, not government. So explain that. Why do we rely on
Oh shoot. Okay, one is looking at the government for the solution.
Okay.
One is looking at family for solution.
Okay, so do we kind of like swap those?
No, it's like it's the same sort of thing.
Okay.
So they would say, okay, then women need special grants.
Oh,
Because
it's looking for two different
two-
avenues for solutions.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay,
it's like
okay.
it's kind of goes with the worldview though, because on like one hand, like back with the consumer debt like decision, they would say, oh, so girls need higher credit abilities, so we need we need more bailouts from the government. Where the other side would say, oh, you spent that money, it's your own damn fault, and like go to your family, go to your family for help with that stuff. Don't go to the government. Does that make sense?
Yes, that does make sense.
on processes rather than the will of the people instituting changes to improve our condition?
Well, it doesn't ignore government. Even for the market to work, you have to have a government. It's Europe discovered when the Roman Empire collapsed, and the economies collapsed also. But I guess one of the reasons would be that with the government, you have surrogate decision makers, and they cannot possibly know as much as the individuals whose personal decisions have been preempted.
I see.
I will agree with that. Really, something that was in discussion with like friends and family during this last election, or voting people into office, Senate, all that good stuff, is how can someone law for low-income people when they don't understand what it is to be in that situation. And if you don't know the situation, you can empathize with someone, but you're not going to physically understand what it is to be in a certain situation, whatever it is. And so that was just like the conversation I had. And it's hard to be able to, like, okay, yeah, I understand when you may emotionally understand what it is to be in like a hard situation, but mentally and physically, never been in it, you're never going to understand it.
Was there a law you were talking about?
I cannot remember off the top of my head. It was just like amidst election time and about the people that we were electing. I can't remember.
Okay, I was just wondering if it was like a specific law.
If I remember it, I'll be like, yeah, what's this? But right now, my brain's like, oh.
I see. All right, which brings us to the unconstrained vision. When, again, I'm quoting you, when Rousseau said that man is born free but everywhere in chains, he expressed the essence of the unconstrained vision, in which the fundamental problem is not nature or man, but institutions.
Yes.
Would you explain that one?
Well, he has the notion that, again, that good things happen naturally. If they're bad things, it's because institutions, including civilization itself, have made these bad things happen. And of course...
So it's kind of like again, back to the credit example, like, oh, it's society. So in that example, like, the way he's talking, like, it's like society is making us do these spending habits. and I would save if it wasn't for society.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's really the implicit assumptions behind a lot of things that are said on the left today. Why in my most recent book I go to a lot of trouble to show that in nature there's nothing resembling equal opportunity. That wherever you look around the country, around the world, you find people who live up in the mountains, poor and backwards, even in the richest countries. Including the United States.
Mm-hmm.
I believe the poorest country in the United States, the county rather, was in a mountain community, which was almost 100% white.
Somewhere in Appalachia, West Virginia, Southern Ohio, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And the men in that county had a life expectancy 10 years less than men in a county in Virginia.
And the unconstrained vision says, let's fix that. Surely we can pass a law that would improve that. And the constrained vision says, well, now wait a moment. If people who live in isolated pockets in mountains are poor and backwards all around the world, and we see this pattern over and over and over again, maybe there's something very deeply rooted in reality about that that's hard for us to get at. Correct?
Yes.
All right. So in the book, A Conflict of Visions, you're very dispassionate and very analytical, and you lay out the unconstrained vision, and you lay out the constrained vision, and you don't really come out blazing in favor of one or the other.
No, that is not a book meant to show that one vision is better than the other. It's there to show you what they are and what you're assuming if you go one direction or another.
Okay.
And it's to encourage people to understand the implicit assumptions behind all this, without which you're just at loop.
Would you say that the government in the States is more constrained or unconstrained?
It depends on the state. Texas is more unconstrained. I think California is constrained.
Hi, we're Woodruff.
Man!
It makes you want to move.
Oh my God!
Our products let you feel sound through haptic feedback. The responses were pretty good.
And if it didn't put a smile on your face, I would also quite...
It's so like hard because you want to be able to like depend on the government to help out everybody, but in the grand scheme of things, what happen?
I think the problem, like they say, the path to hell is paved with good intentions. So I'll give you an example in California. The homeless people that are homeless, and that resulted in people moving to California to be homeless. Yeah, and there's a guy on the that they recorded. He was like being interviewed, and he literally tells them, he's like, "I'm a crackhead. I moved from Texas to California so I could be homeless because they pay you to be homeless here. It's great. I get $600 a month. Just
Right now, they're doing that.
I know. But should we?
I'm about to be homeless. I ain't got no home when I go back.
But you see, like, so again, it's these people saying, "Oh, I know what's best. So I know what's best for these people that I'm not, and I'm gonna pat myself on the back. Oh, look at me. I'm helping the poor, while unintentionally hurting people that actually are functioning members of society because now they have to deal with all these homeless people."
That makes a lot of sense. First of all, $600 a month to be homeless. It sucks. That's the thing. I literally would pack up everything like I'm homeless. Like, yo, give me my $600 a month. Thank you. But they say that homeless in California are more privileged than like homeless population anywhere else because they are in California, and it's mind blowing. Like, you can be a privileged homeless person.
Well, and it's funny because maybe it seems mean to say no, you can't be on the street, but it's not, because it makes them figure something else out.
It's just, and some people don't. Like, now, if someone's homeless and they wanted to get on their feet. Now they can be like, well, I don't have to have responsibilities, don't have to work, and I'm getting $600 a month. I'll just stay homeless. Like in California, they have built this tent houses, and they'll have TVs, they'll have cabinets, they'll have everything just on the sidewalk chilling like it's an outdoor home. I remember I told my mom that. She said, that's not fair. They can be out there, they gotta pay rent. That's not fair that they can live out there on their own and just take up the sidewalk space. Like, no, they're gonna have to pay something to be able to do that. And I'm like, at first I was like, no, like they're homeless, they can't do that, what are they gonna do? And now I'm like, oh yeah, you gonna live here and make things higher. I'm sorry, and you're getting $600 a month. You better chip in somewhere because everything's hiking up.
And you know who they take it from? You.
Yeah.
Because it comes out of your taxes, and that's how people don't. Like another example I could think of is they surveyed people and they said, do you care about the environment? Okay, like do you want to see the environment improve? People said yes. Then they asked people, would you be willing to spend $30 out of your paycheck to help the environment? Everyone said no.
Let them.
You know what?
It's gonna die sooner or later. Just let it.
And so, but who are the people patting themselves on the back? The people that aren't the ones. I mean, it does come out of their paycheck too, but they're trying to get elected. So they go up and they get to say, yeah, I'm fighting for climate change. I'm this, that. But they're in a higher income bracket. They don't care.
So it's like
but it eliminates the middle class because those are the people that have to pay for it. Those are the people it hurts.
Nah, if you say it, you paying. If you in a high tax bracket, it's coming out your paycheck. Don't take it out of mine. It's just a little chip on your paycheck. It's half of mine. Like, no.
Then, oh my gosh, then there's unintended consequences for that too.
How so?
Okay, so let's say you take it more out of the rich people, right? Fine, maybe we do it a little bit, but you get too high, then the rich people don't want to invest in society. They don't want to be in like people will move to save their money. Like people will move their money overseas. Haven't you heard of that?
Yes,
but it's because like why? Like if I'm a rich person and I'm in the U.S., I have to spend 50% of my taxes go to the government, and I know in this other country 25% of my taxes go to the government. Why would I not move? Especially when it's millions every year. And then the problem is, like, you need rich people for society to function because, like even let's take my family, right? If we moved, like, 300 people wouldn't have jobs, or 200, however, I don't know how many people they employ, but like
a lot of
like, and so again, it's back to that, but you wouldn't know that, right?
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like you're not in that situation, but it's a lot of people like making laws about situations they don't understand.
That's why I said what I said earlier. Man, come on now, just help us out. Something, rich people.
All right. So, pondering all this, I noticed something, a column that you wrote, this is a couple of years ago, in which you rebutted Nicholas Kristof of the New York Times. And Kristof had ascribed the gaps between African Americans and whites in America, gaps in wealth, gaps in educational achievement, the usual gaps, to, and this is a quotation from Kristof, to the lingering effects of slavery, close quote.
Oh, yes.
And here's Tom Sowell, quote, if we wanted to be serious about evidence, we might compare where blacks stood 100 years after the end of slavery with where they stood after 30 years of the liberal welfare state. In other words, we could compare hard evidence on the legacy of slavery with hard evidence on the legacy of liberals, close quote. And so there it is, life is hard. You use the word hard. You use the word serious. You use evidence. Tom Sowell is a man of the constrained vision through and through. Correct?
Yeah.
No.
Yes, you know, however, a vanishing breed, I might add.
So when you were a Marxist, the notion, explain that, because the Marxism.
Well, but no, you see,
so that's
even when I was a Marxist, I had the same intellectual standards.
Right.
I will say that there are effects, cause and effects to everything. I will say that there are effects from slavery that happened in the States. There are
Are you still wearing enough layers to insulate Alaska? That's why you need the new and improved Bearskin hoodie. The 6-pocket polar fleece tactical hoodie that...
Now, I believe that there are so many ways that Black people can be advanced in the world. Yes, there are still things that are in play that, but it's in a certain situation, it's harder for us to get out. But I feel like now there's more opportunities for us to get out, and there's a lot of people who stay in that mindset, like, oh, we're in this situation, we're stuck in this area, we can't get out, we struggled here, we struggled there. Trust me, my family struggled from struggle. It didn't stop me and my family, or me and my siblings from doing what we wanted to do, going to college, being able just to live our lives. And there's some people who release that thought of like, this is going to be hard for us, we can't do this, and they stay there. And so I would agree, obviously I would agree with that quote, like there are things that just happen in the world that can't control, and it's just a lasting effect. Like you were saying earlier with the tax bracket, there's effects to anything and everything that you do, whether it's good or bad. But in that, I feel like you have to, if it affects you, how can you bounce back? If it positively affects you, okay, how can you take that and run with it?
Yeah.
And that's what eventually led me away from it.
I'll let you talk. I'm sorry, guys.
No. You can say what's on. You can say what's on your mind.
No, nothing's on my mind. Sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. No. It's just like no, it's just like I think that. I don't want to say.
No, I know it. So I like having like.
You could apologise to Angie and...
I'm not apologizing to that old bitch. Absolutely fucking not.
I don't pay attention. If you think I'm paying attention, I'm not. I'm just being honest. If you think I am one of the most people that live in the Trina's bubble. Right. I don't be knowing what's going on. I don't really care if it's not cutting a check, if it's not the spy bringing me peace, if it's not...
When the power is out. There's still going to be burgers and dogs.
I have never trusted anyone or anything as much as this lady trusts those dungarees.
When the power is out. There's still going to be burgers and dogs.
I have never trusted...
Right? Right?
You thought I was killing you? No. That nigga lunch. Nigga, either he ate for lunch.
So, am I your type?
Yeah.
Yeah? What do you like the most about me?
Can you turn around? Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you handle me in this position?
Yes. 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 Wait, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Wait. Hold on. Wait, What do you want to tell me? Both of you guys. What do you want to tell me? Double check. Safety belt. Wait. Let me tell you something. Wait. Wait. What do you want to tell me? Both of you guys. What do you want to tell me? Double check. Safety belt.
Hey, what are you doing?
Eating a sandwich.
Oh, we're going to my parents' house for dinner.
I know, can't wait to see him.
Okay, then why are you eating?
I'm hungry.
You can't wait an hour?
I'll be hungry again. It won't be an hour. I'm going to hug them, talk. It'll be like 2 hours before I even see an appetizer.
Okay, what if I tell them as soon as we walk in, he's hungry?
Oh, that's weird. It's all about me eating.
That's what you want.
No, it's not. I want to eat right now.
I would never do this to your parents.
Hey, you said
I'm eating a sandwich.
Hey, what are you doing?
I'll be back in like 3 hours.
You know what's funny? When you first get with somebody, it's like, no. And then after being with somebody for like 3 years, I'm like, you know what? Travis, go play again. The boys.
Hey, I'm Dina. Look at my feet. My feet are straight ahead. You don't want to do that. You want to turn your feet out. I'm going to do this backwards. Look, I want to tell you another thing that makes hip-hop hip-hop.
Not never trying to be the white girl from the Missy Elliott videos.
My mom used to tell me all the time, stand up straight, stand up straight. Well, you know what? I was stand up straight. And hip hop is this. 1, 2, 3, 4, hit. Ah. And ah. The more relaxed you are, that's what makes it hip hop. This is the first thing I will say to you. You want to do hip hop? You got to stand like this. And a hip hop head,
The hip hop head.
We about to get out, boo. Yeah, we about to get out.
Pound Town. Fingerville.
That's right. Ari, don't irk me. I know you don't want to be in here for real. Get out there. Now get on the sofa. I think I'll just go over to my studio. He's gonna come in here and read for a little bit. You wanna roll me a what?
For pizza?
To order a pizza, yeah.
You called 911 to order a pizza?
Yeah, apartment.
This is the wrong number to call for a pizza.
No, you're not.
I'm getting you now. Is the other guy still there?
Yeah. I need a large pizza.
All right. How about medical? You need medical?
No. With pepperoni.
Turn your sirens off before you get there. Caller ordered a pizza and agreed with everything I said that there was domestic violence going on. 911.
I would like to order a pizza, yeah.
You called 911 to order a pizza?
Yeah, apartment.
This is the wrong number to call for a pizza.
No, you're not.
I'm getting you now. Is the other guy still there?
Yeah. I need a large pizza.
All right. How about medical? You need medical?
No. With pepperoni.
Turn your sirens off before you get there. Caller ordered a pizza.
Whoa, that's crazy.
And agreed with everything I said that there was domestic violence.
That is crazy. That's sad as fuck too, yo. Because that bitch felt like she about to get manhandled or something worse. She was like, no. You're not understanding me. I need a pizza at this address, nigga. Yeah, he's still here. No, I don't need medical. Not yet, but I'm not putting that in there. Where's the grinder? See, you ain't prepared.
I just prepared.
Don't you hate when you get shit behind your tooth?
Little tiny bit.
You don't let my heat out? This bitch keep coming in and out?
That's good. She wanna be out of here. Tell him he always trying to kick us out. Except for when he wants somebody to feed him and read his comments.
Ain't no comments to be read.
Oh, so I'm excused then. Well, goodbye. We'll go to our own studio. How about that? Yeah, how about that? You can't come in mine either.
Move. It's a few shades different from that. A little darker and then have like yellow on yellow. Instead of having such a bold contrast with the green. I might try that first and see how it works out. And since I have so much of that paint, if it doesn't work, I can just roll it over again. And I think it'll be easier to cover a yellow up. And then, like I said, if I don't like the yellow on yellow, then I might use that green. But the more I look at that green, that shit look darker than what I wanted it to be. But it still might work. But also,
I'm like not. I don't know what to envision, but I think I can see it.
Yeah. I was gonna take a picture of it and like play around with it on the iPad before I make a final decision.
Good morning, good morning.
You don't got no more pre-roll tips?
Couple. But there's a bunch of those that.
So why you make me roll this one instead of giving me one that's already pre-rolled?
Because there's only a few left, so now I have another pre-roll tip. I thought you were the master pearler.
I am. So you making me do all the hard work.
I know, right? That's what she said.
This motherfucker won't stay with me.
He can't roll. Thank you so much. You're the best.
Yep, now I need my bong and my weed. You should have brought that shit up when you brought your little bit of crappy ass shit up.
It's better than your fake ass, diet ass. You got CBD right there.
Don't worry, I'll go get my bong.
I'll go get it for you. I'm just saying, like, this is like my third trip up the steps, and you ain't asked me not once.
Yeah.
Oh, and now you need more coffee too.
No, I don't need no more coffee. Get your steps in for the day.
What about you?
Hey, it's my downtime. I've been to the gym like how many times this week? I do 2 leg days a week now.
Yeah, and I played basketball and walked several miles and took a client to a park. I didn't sit on my ass all day at work and do nothing. And then I came home and cooked dinner and cleaned up. Did you walk the dog this week? I'm gonna say this is your downtime. I'm off too. Bring me your bong and I'm getting up. I'll actually getting up. Right now.
Calm down, she'll be back.
get dinner and your apartment clean for free. Step 1, make a fake dating app account and match with your roommate. Make plans to have dinner at his place. Tell them you don't like messy apartments. They'll clean the whole place. Squeaky clean. Then cancel 1 hour before. They'll offer you dinner. Then be a good roommate and take them out. We are closer now. Like and follow for more big brain hacks. How to get dinner.
Try to push it through.
I shit by myself. ちょっと待ってこれを見ろ分かったかステッキで済むような問題か俺は女なんだぞ
それが何なのよ。
何なのっておめえ
やだ龍之介様ったら
ほら
What the fuck? Move.
これを見ろ
Try to push it through.
ちょっと待ってこれを見ろちょっと待ってこれを見ろ分かったかステッキで済むような問題か俺は女なんだぞ
それが何なのよ。
何なのっておめえ
やだ龍之介様ったら
ほらちょっと待って
He's like, look, I know I became a woman, but hold up.
If it isn't.
No, so I've never seen that anime before, but apparently the one dude was, the one girl was pretending to be a guy, and the one guy was pretending to be a girl. It's like she'd lift up her shirt and see her boobs bound down, and the other girl.
I thought hers were cut off. That's how I thought it was.
No,
like
she just had them bound so people would think she's a guy, and then the guy lifts up his dress and he got a fucking pecs and like I'm not really a girl. Like, what the fuck? Japanese people are so weird. I shit by myself.
Man and woman reverse.
Talking to my cool. My Instagram reels are the funniest shits ever. But I hate getting stuck on there. I can be on that shit for like hours without minding at all just because people post so many dumb shits. And it's like fucking, what was it before? Vines? Like them shits are gone and now it's just like Instagram reels.
That's why I wish I was on social media because I used to be on there too much. So strange. The person that'd be like, put your phone down, bring me food over, you still be scrolling on reels. This shit is addictive. Especially because they're like 7 seconds, 5 seconds.
Alright.
You don't.
So we've got all sorts of cool calls on the line here, and I don't have any more announcements, so I'm just going to walk away from this.
Yeah, we got to try to get through some of these.
Yeah, because we got like a million people calling in, and this one on top looks really cool. This is on line number 28. Diana, pronouns are she, her, from Kansas. The lack of an atheist objective moral standard, and therefore no way to absolutely condemn something as good or bad. Diana, how are you? This goes perfectly with what we were just talking about. I'm awesome. This is perfect because on the last call, Dave and I were excoriating the God claims because we think that any God that would run a world like this is a monster. And you're saying that we have no way of objectively claiming that that's true because we have no morality, so to speak, or moral standard. Could you please elaborate on that? Tell me if I'm missing anything because I don't want to talk over you or put words in your mouth.
Yes, I would say that there's a lack of moral framework, so inherently I don't think that any of your claims have any weight speaking on the subject of morality.
Okay.
That's that. I mean, a way to quantify moral weight of separate claims.
Okay.
Well,
So
I guess
what
maybe
is your
start
moral-
with what is your objective moral standard? Let's
Yeah,
start
exactly.
there.
Perfect. We're on the same page. Yes.
My objective moral standard, I appeal to God.
Okay,
Is it
well,
the God of the Bible?
elaborate, please. Yeah, what God and elaborate on God's
sorry, I'm
morality.
a Catholic.
Yeah.
I'm a Catholic.
Okay.
I'm a Catholic. I appeal to the Catholic Church in Scripture.
Can I ask
Okay.
you a couple of quick questions? Just very, very brief questions about Catholicism, just to make sure I know who you are. Because, like, forgive me, we get a million callers, and if somebody says they're Catholic or a Christian or whatever, that could mean a lot of things. So just to understand, do you believe that the Bible is a good rule of faith? Or, not of faith, pardon me, of morality, that what's written in the Bible is a moral framework?
Depends on specifically, I'd say that we interpret things within the light and the tradition of the church and the dogmatic teachings of the church. So,
Right, so
it really
the
depends.
Catholic Church's interpretation and the Catholic Church's interpretation of the Bible and the way that they put out the Bible, that is a moral framework that you're cool with. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yes.
Okay.
Could
Second
I-
question: Do you
okay,
think that the Catholic Church has always been on the right side of history? Do you think that the Catholic Church has always been a force for good? Do you think that the Catholic Church's administrations of morality have always been in line with the moral framework that you're talking about?
I would say that every human is a sinner, and there has been people who have committed atrocities in the Catholic Church, going against church teachings, going against church dogma. So, of course, I don't agree with those things, but I think that, yes, I think that popes can speak dogmatically and infallibly, and when they do so, they are just and morally righteous.
Okay.
So
that's
could
all
I
need
ask
to
you
know. Dave, take
something?
us home.
Yeah, could I ask you about how the Catholic Church, how do you feel about the Catholic Church for many years of history covering up and relocating Catholic priests for molesting boys over and over and over again?
It's predominantly a Vatican II problem. Like, the post-Vatican II reforms really kind of screwed the church over. It's drifted into modernism. The church itself still stands, but I'd say that it was a top-down Vatican cover-up, and really the fault is in the hands of Pope Francis. So, I mean, but that's not even necessarily... So I called to pose to you this question, even if, assuming that...
So you didn't want to talk about that?
I can go into depth.
You don't want to talk about the immorality in the Catholic Church. Well, you call and
No,
lecture
I
us on
talked
objective
about that.
moral standards, and yet the Catholic Church, which you and defend,
has been convicted of atrocities of immorality.
She herself said that different people do bad things in the church, but like we're attacking the organization as a whole, like the Crusades, like where was that? That was the whole church. That wasn't just one person, right?
I mean, I don't think that's
bad.
Those weren't bad.
The Crusades are fine. I mean,
why were they
I was
fine?
trying to post you.
No. Why were the Crusades okay?
The fact that the Catholic Church sent
they-
people to slaughter innocent people across the Middle East with the promise of heaven if they killed as many women and children as possible, that was a good thing?
Straw man there. That's not necessarily how it was. There were evil
Not really.
committed by individuals.
If anything, I was putting that lightly.
I would say is a moral.
Repeat that, please.
Sorry. My call cut out, I believe. But no, I would say that the original Crusades and the reason that they can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Sorry, I believe that the original Crusades and the moral purpose they fulfilled were, of course, a net positive to spread God's word as far as possible.
By the sword. Just we're talking about saying whether or not you agree with what happened.
Of course,
spreading God's word by killing people who don't believe in it.
Yeah, he came with a sword. Yes, I'm to the book.
Okay.
I don't like.
Wow.
Right away, Diana.
And you're
I have
talking
to
to
tell
us
you.
about moral standards. Oh my God.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Irony.
How is it a moral negative? You tell me.
Blowing my mind.
You tell me.
Diana,
to kill people for not believing the way you believe is moral?
Is insane. It's monstrous. I don't
Diana.
care what your moral standard is for me.
Diana.
I have no interest in your judgments on me. If you think that it's okay to murder somebody.
I don't like logical contradictions. Can I speak? I don't like logical contradictions. I have constructed my entire worldview in an attempt to free myself from any logical contradictions. It's always been, I consumed atheist media for years. I loved Matt Dillahunty, Aaron Ra, all of the Alex O'Connor, all of them. Yes, I consumed all of that, but then I realized that there were so many dang contradictions. And I have one question that I really haven't gotten very many good answers from.
Okay, so, what's your question?
Assuming that God is false from the atheist perspective, what is wrong with following a coherent Christian morality for society? It seems to have done us great in the past. It seems to have led to order and led to moral accountability.
Wow.
So
I'm actually
you're
glad you asked this
presenting
question. That's
us.
perfect.
You're presenting us with a consistent moral standard, and it's okay.
Yeah, no, you actually answered your own question. You answered your own question in this call, Diana. And you want to know what's wrong with following this morality that you've given us, even if there isn't a God? Because it leads people to believe what you just said, that it's okay to slaughter innocent men, women, and children if they don't believe what you believe. That's a horrible, evil thing to say. It's absolutely shame on you.
That is such a straw man if I've ever heard it. But what about...
That's what you just said.
You
said the Crusades were okay because those people didn't believe and it spread the word by the sword.
Okay.
That's hideous.
Are you okay?
Would
would you go down the street in your neighborhood and slaughter the people who don't believe according to your beliefs? Would that be okay?
No. Do you understand the history behind the Crusades? We have no need for that now.
What context? No, absolutely no. What context is it okay? What context is it okay to murder somebody because they don't believe in something? What's the context that makes that okay? Women and children were killed, not soldiers.
Diana.
Children were murdered by the thousands. What makes that okay? What's the context that makes it okay to slaughter children?
Sword? Okay. But you still
literally
have...
history 101. Go to college. It's not a controversial statement.
What about our moral plagues that we see right now in society? Like, look at the way we're drifting. Don't you see that there's so
No, we're not going to talk about that. You're going to answer that question. No, we're not moving on until you answer that question.
Crusade.
No, you didn't.
I said
what is the exact context that makes it okay to slaughter children for not being Christian?
Oh, I wouldn't say that that's a moral
And the
cause.
Crusades weren't
I
good.
don't agree with
Period.
children. No.
But that's what happened in the
Good.
Crusades.
That is what happened.
No, I would say that the intention of the Crusades. I'm not talking about the
Children out of
actual
it.
slaughter.
What is the exact context that makes it okay to kill anybody because they don't believe what you believe? Anybody at all.
If they're shutting down your church or infringing upon your beliefs or threatening your life,
That's
I
not what
would
we're
say
talking
that
about. We're
that's
talking about
righteously
just
in
not
self-defense.
believing what
That's
you
what I
believe.
think.
That's what you said. You said it's okay to spread the word by the sword. Now, we're not talking about somebody taking away your church, your rights, or anything. What is the context for killing somebody for not believing what you believe, spreading the word by the sword? What is the context in which that is okay?
I've already given you my answer to that. You just
Give it
brush
to me
over
again.
things like that.
Tell me right now.
This is the
Tell me
type
right
of
now.
circling that I dread. I dread this type of circle.
Nope.
Okay,
We're not
will
moving on
say
for
it.
anything until you answer this question directly.
I'm going.
When is it okay
I'm
to kill
answering the
somebody?
question directly.
Tell me, what's the
I already
context
told
to
you.
kill
I already
somebody?
told you.
Then clearly I missed it. Tell me again. When is it okay to kill
Okay,
somebody because
yeah.
they don't believe what you believe?
Infringing upon your rights,
And
infringing
we
upon your
already said
church,
that's
and
not what we're
infringing upon
talking
your
about.
life.
That's not what we're talking
So
about.
you're
You said it's okay.
Yes, I don't agree that in
You
other
said it's
contexts
okay
they're
to
right.
spread the word by the sword, not a defense.
If necessary.
Spreading the word by the
all-
sword is not
all-
defending yourself, not defending your faith, it's not defending your rights.
Oh.
It's spreading the word by the
Diana,
Diana.
Diana,
Yes.
why were the Crusades necessary?
They were to defend the faith, to defend the church, to defend because of the infringement from the East. This was a response to something. This was a historical response to something. There were events that necessitated this response. Now, do I think everything that the Crusaders did were justified? Obviously not. I disagree with like the brutal slaughter of the Gnostics and stuff. I think that a lot of the ways that they perpetuated things were unjust and incredibly cruel. I think a lot of the orderings had for the Crusades and their actions had incredibly malicious intent and were horrible and would be frowned upon by God. I think that that's true. Like, I'm not saying that we should just go and kill everyone. Like, don't put words in my mouth here. Have a little bit of understanding here.
You're just saying we should kill certain people, not everyone, but certain people.
Only a few.
Saying that it's necessary to
Aggression towards
spread.
us?
No. You're saying that it's necessary to spread the word of God and the faith by the sword. Am I correct that you said that?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
spreading
That's all we need to
yes.
know.
Yes.
That's all we need to know about your morality.
That's evil. That's absolutely
That's
despicable.
evil. So how do you know it's evil? Well, how do you know evil?
Because it resulted in the unjust killing of human beings. Here's the massacre at Ayodhya. The massacre at Ayodhya on the 20th of August in 1191 during the Third Crusade, when King Richard had more than 2,000 Muslim prisoners of war beheaded in front of their city. They were prisoners of war. People who were captured and powerless had 2,000 people beheaded. Immoral?
Yes.
No.
Where's your
And
friend?
absolutely,
Where's-
absolutely
Bye-bye,
disgusting.
Diana.
We're done.
I feel sorry for that
Absolutely
woman.
shame on you.
Oh my God. Just the indoctrination that she lives with to believe that.
Unbelievably gross.
Unbelievable. Poor woman. Poor woman.
Yeah,
I feel sorry
I have
for
a-
anyone in her world.
I'm not going to take the cold questions about like where our morality comes from, because I have this whole saying that you shouldn't take advice from somebody that you wouldn't take criticism from. So like, I'm sorry, I'm not interested. If you think it's okay to murder over 2,000 people who are defenseless because they don't believe your thing and because, oh, they were against your beliefs, they were against your church. Absolutely no.
Jim Bognat pledged to vote for a national abortion ban. No exceptions for rape, incest, or to save a woman's life.
Jim Bognat has no business making those decisions.
I don't think so. Don't let Jim Bognat take away our rights.
We'll go to Michael.
Looks promising. Let's talk. Michael, hi. What would you like to talk about today?
Hi Shannon, hi Matt. Great to speak with you. I really appreciate you taking my call.
Sure. How you doing?
So, thank you, and I hope the same as well.
Of Armageddon, Bill Gates and his buddies are buying up bunkers. Do they know something we don't know? Is this the new pandemic? Armageddon now?
No, here's the bad news.
Hello there, you 6 million awakening wonders. Thank you for joining me on this voyage towards truth. Please subscribe right now and turn on your notifications. And remember, we stream every day live on Rumble at these times. Watch us every day. These videos go up there first, uncensored, unexpurgated, direct to you and your consciousness. Now, let's get into this story. Do you think that crises are being used to further impecuniate, if that's a word, poor people, and enhance the lives of rich and powerful institutions and groups? Like the 2008 stock market crash was ultimately beneficial for the financial industry. The pandemic was ultimately beneficial for the most powerful people in the world. The brink of Armageddon, Bill Gates and his buddies are buying up bunkers. Do they know something we don't know? Is this the new pandemic? Armageddon now?
No, here's the bad news.
Now, let's get into this story. Do you think that crises are being used to further impecuniate, if that's a word, poor people, and enhance the lives of rich and powerful institutions and groups? Like the 2008 stock market crash was ultimately beneficial for the financial industry. The pandemic was ultimately beneficial for the most powerful people in the world. The richest people in the world got richer. So for some institutions, it wasn't a crisis at all. Is it conceivable that even nuclear Armageddon could be part of a crisis response solution mentality? Firstly, let's have a look at some of these bunkers that are available for Bill Gates and his billionaire buddies. I've got to tell you, they're actually fucking lovely.
No one knows exactly what the future has in store.
Don't they?
But one startup company says avoiding threats from any potential natural disasters, viruses, and wars doesn't have to come at the expense of your comfort.
Yeah, why should I give up my comfort just because there's a virus and a nuclear war? I should be able to relax. There's another few million people dead. See what's on the telly. Repeats again. Why is no one making any new content?
This is an Opidum, a type of luxury doomsday bunker that could soon be underneath the mansions of some of the world's richest people.
Seems to me to be distasteful.
Opidum is the Latin term for fortified settlement, and that's exactly what this is, and much more. Company officials say each bunker is air and gas tight.
So that you could just literally seal yourself off from the world. Now, in a way, this is already happening. I have a much better lifestyle than a lot of people. I recognise that. But the idea that our plan for the future ought to be to create citadels for the super rich at a point in history where really what's required is a new model altogether is almost beyond parody and is certainly grotesque.
Allowing those inside to be completely cut off from the atmosphere outside for up to a month.
What are they going to do, though, after a month? Oh, hello, everybody. Listen, does anybody know where I can get some rainwater? Hey, what are you doing with that bone sword?
The shelters are also armed with the technology to make their own water, air, and energy, while coming with the chicest amenities.
In a way, that's already happening. If you think during the pandemic, I think one of the things that many people felt is that ordinary people were being forced to live by a lot of restrictive regulations. You can't leave your house, you must wear a mask, you must take certain medications. And I think there was a strong sense that that wasn't affecting everybody in the same way, that some people were travelling around privately, still going to gatherings. I mean, this isn't hypothetical. We know in our country, the UK,
Last time on the Parables of the Commonwealth. Guys, if you like the video, don't forget to smash that like button. And once you do that, share it on your social media so other people can watch the video too. And it really helps out the channel. And don't forget to subscribe, because I'm working on getting 10,000 subs and I'm about halfway there, so help a brother out. And if you've got any questions or comments, make sure to leave a comment below the video. Comments always help with the algorithm, so go ahead and leave a comment. And if you'd like to help support the channel directly, go ahead and use that Ko-Fi link or the tip the channel link in the description. Otherwise, click the join button or the super thanks button underneath the video. Okay, that stuff's out of the way. So, what are we gonna do today? I think we did that, so I think we're gonna do troubled water. So we're gonna head on over to Grey Garden. I already, I remade my blueprint from last episode. So, that's all good. And everything looks good. Dog meat likes the nav mesh going out of there. Hey, I want to see if I knew there was a bloat fly. Oh well, I had my shotgun.
That waste of time.
All right, so that's taken care of. And we're gonna head for Grey Garden. Now, I'm gonna go
Freeloading John Fetterman lived off his parents till he was 49, didn't pay his own taxes, but wants us to pay more. He even pushed a 46% hike in our state income tax. John Fetterman is a far-left tax-raising fraud.
Any questions, Chris?
All good. Thanks, Maura. There you go. One new inhaler.
Nice. Did you get my refill too?
Maybe.
Healthier is auto refills and delivery made easy.
You're a lifesaver.
The Fallout series has been around for over 2 decades now. This series' lore has had plenty of time to cook in the microwave. Get it? Because microwaves use radiation? Alright, fine. Fallout lore spans hundreds of years, so we're going to help you understand the most important parts in this huge timeline. Hey, Vault Dwellers, I'm Jetnet with the leaderboard, and today we're going headfirst into the wacky timeline of Fallout. 1776, the birth of a nation. Time for a quick history lesson. Fallout takes place in an alternate reality of our own universe. Before nuclear power absolutely ruined everything, things were normal. We all remember when a bunch of old guys got together and decided to make a country and made it official on July 4th, 1776, right? That's where we'll start. Fallout has always drawn inspiration from American culture. One game took place in our nation's capital, while another was set in one of the oldest cities in the United States, Boston. The signing of the Declaration of Independence set it all in motion. 1945, the beginning of the end. Jumping ahead a few hundred years now, we've seen World War I and now World War II. The world of Fallout is still following events that happened in our world, but it sets into motion the reliance on nuclear power. Germany surrenders to the Allies on May 7th. The United States drops nuclear bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in August, forcing Japan to surrender and officially ending World War II. 1950-ish. Divergence. And then comes the point of divergence. Divergence takes place sometime during the 1950s, presumably, and we see the history of the world take a totally different turn. And thank goodness for that, otherwise we'd be living in quite a crazy timeline. While our universe grew to fear the nuclear power that ended World War II, the Fallout universe embraced it so much that it ended up in every household. This retro nuclear-powered future defines the funky aesthetic of the series. Nuclear power made Mr. Handy robots possible. Heck, they didn't even have to, but they made nuclear TVs and appliances. 2016. Wonder Glue. In 2016, the Wonder Glue Company is made. This is essential to the Fallout timeline because, well, Wonder Glue is integral to weapon crafting in Fallout 4. Seriously, this is super important. Okay, maybe not, but the first half of the 2000s gives way to the companies that breathed life into the Fallout world, such as Robco, General Atomics, and everyone's favorite ethically questionable soft drink company, the Nuka-Cola Corporation. 2052, the Resource Wars. Let's jump ahead another 100 years or so. It is not looking good in 2052. The Earth's oil has been used up, and an energy crisis ensues. In April, the Resource Wars begin. If we're being honest, the world is looking pretty grim at this point in Fallout history. Entire nations are going bankrupt from lack of resources, especially oil. Europe, starved for that precious black gold, invades the petroleum-rich Middle East. Whoa, Europe, can you chill? A little extreme, wouldn't you say? Meanwhile, China and the United States have a little scuffle over some underwater oil fields. Eventually, the United States claims these fields for their own, but not without a cost. We'll talk about that next. Does Anchorage ring a bell? Meanwhile, the United Nations collapses. This is all setting in motion what we know as the Great War. I think we all know how bad it turns out for, well, everyone. All over some oil? Why can't everyone get along ever? 2066. Invasion of Alaska. By this point, the United States has set up a military garrison in Anchorage, Alaska to guard the Bering Strait and the valuable yet ever-dwindling supply of fossil fuels. Aggression between China and the United States increases, and eventually, the kettle boils over. In late 2066, Chinese forces invade Alaska, causing a war between the United States and China. Equipped with power armor, American troops attempt to defend Alaska and its oil from the Chinese forces. This conflict lasts a whopping 11 years and is a constant struggle between both sides. Eventually, the United States liberates the entirety of Alaska, starting with Anchorage in 2077. If you've played Fallout 3's Operation Anchorage DLC, your character will go into a simulation and play the part of a soldier in the liberation of Anchorage. While you can experience this battle a whole 200 years after it actually happened, it's another way to celebrate America's wonderful history. Doesn't seeing a bloody conflict firsthand sound exciting? But what was the cost of all this? 2077. The Great War. Now for the most important date in Fallout. We still haven't gotten to any of the games yet, but what happens this year made all of our wacky adventures in Fallout possible. I guess a nuclear apocalypse has some perks? At this point, tons of vaults have been made by Vault-Tec. The United States and China are still fighting ferociously, but it's all about to come to an end. Let's set the scene. It's October 23rd, almost Halloween. There's tons of spooky decorations all around as the country gets ready for some much-needed festivities. Nuka-Cola Quantum just released to the public. I mean, what could be better than that? Let's just say that there was an exchange of missiles and bombs, and so begins the Great War. A war that lasted a day. Chinese nukes land in New York City and Pennsylvania, then Washington, D.C. and Boston, too. The world has an Oprah moment. You get a nuke. You get a nuke. Everybody gets a nuke! You'll get to experience the horror of this event in the prologue of Fallout 4, making your way to Vault 111 where you begin your long slumber. The world after this day is royally screwed. 2102, Reclamation Day. Hey folks, we finally made it to our first official Fallout game! Yeah, okay, Fallout 4 technically starts earlier, but really, Fallout 76 is the earliest Fallout game in the timeline. It's not out yet, but we know quite a bit. We know that on October 7, 2102, 25 years after the Great War, it's Reclamation Day, the day that the citizens of Vault 76 will go out and reclaim the United States. Reclaim it from what, you ask? Why, the hideous mutated monsters that now roam the wastes of West Virginia. Whether alone or with friends, players will be making settlements, meeting new players, and fighting the irradiated wildlife, then completely rendering all that void by lobbing nukes at each other. We'll see what Fallout 76 holds for players when it launches later this year. For now, we know that the Vault's opening marks an important date in Fallout history. 2161, Vault 13 opens. Veterans of the series will be familiar with the first outing of the Fallout series. Set in California, the story introduces the players to the world of Fallout through the eyes of the Vault Dweller. 84 years after the Great War, more vaults are opening while some are just falling apart. That's the case with the Vault Dweller's home, Vault 13. The water chip for the vault, essential to the water, obviously, has gone and gotten itself broken. You play as the unfortunate soul who's going to have to get out there in the nasty wastes of irradiated California and get a new chip. So in December of 2161, you're given your trusty Pip-Boy 2000, a pat on the back, and a kick out the door to save your vault.
Thanks, Overseer Jackerin. You jerk.
The original Fallout game's journey spans a few years' time. You eventually get that water chip in 2162, but not without crossing paths with the Master and his army of bloodthirsty super mutants, as well as other horrible things that you'd only expect from Fallout. From rad scorpions and raiders to those power-armored tech hoarders in the Brotherhood of Steel, you'll have your hands full trying to save Vault 13. We're not going to spoil how this game ends if you plan on somehow beating Fallout with its brutal difficulty, but the overall journey takes around half a year. 2241, The Chosen One. It's been quite a while since the original Fallout. In that span of time, the ousted protagonist of the original game was kicked out of Vault 13 and established his own settlement. In Fallout 2, you, the Chosen One, are the Vault Dweller's grandchild and a member of the settlement, Arroyo. This time, you're out for the Garden of Eden creation kit, or the GECK. The only thing standing in your way is the Enclave, the last remnants of the United States government before the bombs fell. Everyone loves an aggressive, heavily militarized organization in the nuclear wasteland. Just kidding, they're jerks and everyone hates them. So much so that the Chosen One sends them packing by destroying their base on an old oil rig. By the end of Fallout 2, the Enclave is down, but definitely not out. 2227, Vault 101. We've finally made it to the title that rebooted the Fallout franchise, Fallout 3. You are a member of Vault 101, a happy community where everything is going pretty alright. The only thing you really have to worry about is the tunnel snakes, who, by the way, rule. All is well until your father, James, leaves the vault. You, as the lone wanderer, need to find out why. As it turns out, dear old dad was a key scientist involved with Project Purity, an attempt to purify the waters of the Potomac River in D.C. Eventually, you'll get embroiled in the battle between the newly emboldened Enclave and the local chapter of the Brotherhood of Steel. Each side wants control of Project Purity. The Brotherhood of Steel wants to purify the water, but the Enclave wants to purify the wasteland itself by infecting the water with a virus. With the help of the Brotherhood, and a giant laser-shooting democracy-loving robot, you'll get to make your father's dreams come true. You beat back the Enclave, activate Project Purity, and provide clean water for the capital wasteland. All in a day's work for a Fallout protagonist. 2281. Vegas, baby. It's 2281 and you're just a courier in the Mojave Wasteland trying to deliver a simple platinum chip. No big deal. What could go wrong? Oh, right. You get shot in the head by that bastard Betty and left for dead. Luckily, the good Dr. Mitchell patches you together, and off you go to find Benny and get some payback. As you would expect from a Fallout title, things get complicated. Just about everyone in the Mojave is vying for control of the Hoover Dam, the area's greatest water source. It's up to you as the courier to decide which faction gets to cash their chips. Will you go for the militant NCR or the brutally harsh Caesar's Legion? Perhaps you'll side with Mr. House and his army of Securitrons, or play the wild card, flip the table, and pick nobody. There's no one canon ending on the timeline, so you'll have to choose your own. 2287, The Search for Sean. You wake up from cryosleep as the sole survivor of Vault 111. Now it's time to find your son Sean and rescue him from the clutches of the mysterious Institute. You'll get caught up in a conflict between synths, the Brotherhood, Railroad, and a bunch of other factions. Ultimately, who you side with will change the Commonwealth forever. 2377. The future. The Vault 101 PA system estimates that by 2377, the United States will be habitable. I think you're a little off, Vault 101. You are not going to be able to get rid of all of those raider settlements, mutants, and other horrible monsters. Who knows, though? Maybe we'll get to see a new Fallout sometime in the future. The Fallout timeline is truly expansive, and with so much going on, we have to thank the amazing writers for putting it all together. We'll see what the future holds, but it looks like it's going to be insane. Also, while you're here, be sure to check out 107 Fallout 4 Facts. It's pretty rad. Once again, I'm Judy Jetset, and this is The Leaderboard, your home for video game facts.
I'm thinking I might start keto again.
Didn't you already try that?
Yeah, but I've tried everything else. What else am I supposed to do?
Hey, what it be? It's your boy Dre OG. Welcome back to the OG family. Make sure y'all smash that like button. Subscribe to my channel if you're rocking with new content. But look, man, we got these unexpected spring things you won't believe all on the table. You know what I'm saying? Buckle up, people. This is gonna be a real good one, man. Look, make sure y'all smash that like button. Share this with your friends and your family, man. Y'all know we lit over here. Just know, man, this is a bullshit-free area. Have a good time over here. Just know if you're going through this thing called life and you're having a tough time, just know we're just staying together. You know what I'm saying? You can always rebound. Your thing's better.
Now just imagine the following situation. You get out of your house at night to get a lunch with friends and you're walking down the streets. And all of a sudden you notice something strange. You don't know what it is, but you look up and you see what appears to be a person floating just above you. Sounds like a dream, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But it isn't. This is actually what happened with Crystal, who lives in Mexico and posted a video of what appears to be a flying humanoid caught on camera. Frightened with what she was seeing, she started recording it and posted the video to YouTube, and this is what she saw.
Swear to God, that's a person. Dude, flash the light! If you're a person, flash the light!
The hell no.
Okay, maybe it's no. Oh!
What appears to be some sort of shadow-like figure can be seen floating just above the ground. Crystal is completely baffled by what she saw, and the video amassed millions of views and thousands of comments. I'm not exactly sure what's going on here, but if you do have an idea, please do leave a comment. What I do know is that there are several other videos portraying something similar.
Go flying, man. Go. What is that?
For instance, in this next video posted by Ann Watford YouTube channel in San Antonio, a family notices what appears to be a human-like figure floating just above them. This is when they zoom in and what they see left them completely speechless. This is what they captured on camera.
Where'd it go? Yeah. What?
Oh. Hey, get a little better with your camera skills, G. Let's go.
Huh.
It's flapping.
first, I thought this could be a person using a hang glider or something like that.
Yeah.
But after watching the video once or twice, pretty sure it's not. It has to be something else. But it looks like some sort of creature flapping its wings, but it has to be huge, taking into consideration the distance and altitude. So, what is this? In your opinion, could this be the real deal? I mean, is it some sort of flying creature that we don't know of? Or is it something entirely different? In certain cultures, it is believed that witches and certain entities can actually fly. And stories of flying humanoids have been told all throughout history. Take for instance an article that was written in September 1880 in Coney Island about a surreal encounter with a flying humanoid. According to the article, a man with bat's wings and improved frog's legs and a cruel and determined expression on his face was spotted by multiple witnesses flying in a swimming-like motion toward New Jersey at a height of about 1,000 feet.
But they call it the Jersey Devil, right?
So could it be evidence of such creatures or entities, or is it something else? What's your take?
I mean, as long as he just stay up there, you know what I'm saying, like, and mind his business, I got no problem with that. Go ahead, fly, bro. You know, that one. Do your thing.
When it comes to strange phenomena nowadays, with the internet at our hands, there are dozens of videos of strange things that happen out there. People sometimes can't find an easy explanation.
Is that a wolf or a dog?
That's a dog.
No, that's not.
I saw it come through.
That is a hyena.
Or a beast. What is...
Saudara, ini hujan di mobil ini doang ini lihat nih, yang lain kagak nih.
She out here walking around with that monster. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't never seen a dog. They're like a hyena wolf or something like that, right?
Nih, yang lain gak ada yang hujan. Ini mobil ini doang nih. Tuh. Masya Allah.
Yeah, we seen that.
For instance, a couple of weeks ago, in the city of Haikou, several videos became a viral sensation on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook of what people believe to be mysterious phenomena that was captured on camera. This, for instance, is one of the videos. Now, even though I've never seen anything like this in my life, and it does look like some sort of portal coming out of a sci-fi movie, this kind of phenomenon has a good explanation. It has to do with the ice crystals and the sun reflecting at the right place at the right time, and you see this effect. However, sometimes things don't have an easy explanation. And this is exactly the case with this next video that you're about to watch. Check this out.
You guys see that shadow?
Where?
Where are the clouds? Where are the clouds?
In the video, we can see what appears to be some sort of shadow being projected into the mountain, but there is absolutely no object or no clouds that would explain whatever it is that we're seeing here.
And y'all, the crazy part about it is this. Something is that intelligent to be cloaked like that. 10 times out of 10, they know they're scaring the shit out of people. So that is casting no, they got all that technology. Blocking the sun.
Whatever's going on here, Betita Joe, who originally posted the video, was absolutely stunned by it. But it wasn't just her. The video went viral and amassed millions of views and thousands of comments, and internet users were just as baffled as she was. One internet user suggested that this could be a grass field that was burned. However, Betita Joe posted a next video showing that it wasn't a burned field. So whatever's going on here, it has to be something else producing this shadow on the mountaintop, but what? But this isn't the only video that portrays what people believe to be a glitch in the simulation. In this particular video, for instance, we can see 3 dogs. One is attached to his leash, while the other one in the middle is floating somehow. If you take a closer look, there is absolutely no explanation.
At Custom Ink, we can help you create custom products with a meaningful logo or design to help you feel connected, whether you're all in one place.
To how this dog is literally floating midair. But this isn't all. This last week, another video went viral of what's supposed to be a plane stuck midair. Check this out.
Alright, everybody sees me walking. I'm walking. Look.
Okay, I see you walking.
This plane isn't moving.
And you hear the engine going.
It's not moving. But it sounds like
I've seen this before too, real talk. On the highway.
Needless to say, the video went viral and amassed millions of views and thousands of comments. What is going on with this plane? In the video we can clearly see that it's not moving at all. But in this case, there could be a reasonable explanation, and it could be due to headwind or contrary wind. In the video we can actually hear and see that it's kind of windy, so it could be that. But how do we explain the other two videos? The one where there's a shadow being cast in the mountains, but there's nothing above it, and the one with the dogs. These, in my opinion, are really creepy videos. They actually suggest the existence of maybe a parallel universe, some sort of invisible force, or maybe something else. What's your take?
A lot of stuff we don't know about.
If you're a really big fan of camping and spending some time in the woods, you've probably heard strange stories of cryptids, Bigfoot, or unknown entities that sometimes are caught on camera deep in the woods.
Kalian dengar sesuatu? Kalian dengar suara? Kalian dengar suara dan mereka?
This is true.
Mereka seperti mengikuti di belakang gua, teman-teman.
I don't see why he in the woods with that narrow light. Like, bro, I need my shit to show everything. You understand what I'm talking about? I need to see everything.
Dan arahnya di daerah sini. Astagfirullah! Anjing!
Now, strange stories of such creatures actually go back to the 13th century or maybe even before that, when German peasants carved kobold effigies for their homes. Now, what's intriguing about these kobold entities, which nowadays we know as goblins, is that they can supposedly shapeshift into a candle, a fire, an animal, or a human-like form, and they were said to be seen all over Europe.
That's random as hell, though, that they can shape into all of that. By the weird options, what was that?
In this next video, for instance, Justina Folger was wandering into a river for a dip in the Tatra Mountains with her boyfriend Peter Kowalski. And all of a sudden they saw what they thought at first was a bear. This is when all of a sudden this thing got up on its own two legs and started running. And they caught it all on camera, and this is what they saw.
Oh man, this...
Nie, ja się połapałem trochę. Słoneczko. Nie, popatrzę na ciebie.
If we slow down the video, we can see what appears to be a giant ape-like creature that scared Justina and Peter Kowalski. The thing is, if this is Bigfoot or not, it's very hard to tell. But there are other videos out there that portray what appears to be some sort of entity that hides deep within the woods. Entities that are very difficult to even begin to explain what is it that we are seeing.
It moved. Look at them. Big old eyes. Big old eyes, dude. There's a bunch of them.
And this is sort of what happened with Brian. They usually like to explore the woods, mountains, and abandoned houses. In one specific video, Brian and his girlfriend decide to spend the night at a campsite in Michigan, deep in the woods. At first, they spent the entire day preparing the campsite, and late at night, about 1 a.m. in the morning, they went to sleep. This is when they started hearing strange thumping noises just outside their tent, and in a very smart move, in my opinion, they did not leave the tent. This is until 4 a.m. in the morning when they had to go to the bathroom. This is when things got really creepy, and they were very sure that they were not all alone. And this is what happened.
Alright guys, it's like 4 in the morning. I had to get up to pee, and so did Katana. So I pitched a fire over there. Sorry, the quality is not the best, but off in the distance I hear like yelping. I hope you guys can hear it.
I'm still hearing footsteps because I'm not.
Yeah. I heard footsteps over here.
Sure you heard my flashlight?
How do you know the light would not hurt?
I just don't want to leave the car for too long of a distance.
So Black Lives Matter released their 990 IRS filings. They collected $80 million. Where is that money?
It's not here.
Brian and his girlfriend Katana were pretty sure that there was something out there, but they were still in doubt that it might be a critter or some kind of animal. After all, they were hearing these strange noises since they went to sleep at 1 a.m., and they were still going on. They decided to go back to the car to check it out, and things started getting really creepy really fast. They continue recording, and this is what happens.
Here, I'll come with you. Well, it's kind of, I guess, alarming to me that the yelping stopped.
Ain't coming for no yelping. You better get some action.
Is this you?
No, I promise. Not intentionally, at least.
I don't think it was a branch.
I kind of think it was because it lines up with the branch.
What the? Did you hear that?
The branch?
Yeah, that sounded big.
Look out here with these narrow lights. That is wild.
Footsteps by that campsite. Dude, there is. Huh?
There you go. Open that thing up. On pause.
What the? Hello? It's 4 in the morning. Who's gonna be up?
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's weird. It's weird.
Did you see that? Well, neither did Brian or his girlfriend at the time. What appears to be a glowing pair of eyes can be seen hiding just behind one of the trees just next to them. And if you take everything into consideration, the scratch on their car, the footsteps, the strange howling sound, the tree branches, it all comes to a conclusion that they weren't alone. But it's very difficult to say exactly what it is that was lurking in the darkness in that woods. In your opinion, what do you think is going on here? Do you think they caught video evidence of the presence of an entity such as the kobold goblin, or maybe something else? And what would you have done in their situation? If it was me, I would have probably gotten out of there as fast as possible right after identifying that strange scratch on the car. But I'm not too sure. What do you think? And what would you have done?
I don't know. The red didn't look like no eyeballs or nothing. It was like a light from a device or something.
In today's world, if you live in a big city, you'll notice that in most places there are several CCTV cameras recording what happens all over for people's security and safety. The thing is, most of the times these cameras are just recording people going from one place to another. But in rare cases, these cameras get to record really strange things. And I guess this is what happened in this next video that we're about to watch that was posted by a Twitter user by the name of TNTJohn17. In this video we can see what appears to be two people walking on a road late at night at about 12:45 a.m. And it ended up being a plane. Or maybe something else. If you're a really big fan of stargazing at night, at least once or twice in your lifetime you've come across an object in the sky that you thought was maybe a star, a planet, or maybe something else, and it ended up being a plane or a drone.
Now those are obvious.
The fact is, there are loads of planes or drones traveling through our skies during the daytime and at night. So it's kind of easy for us to confuse these objects. Just so you have an idea, the first drone display show was presented in 2012 in Linz, Austria, where the Ars Electronica Future Lab introduced Spaxels, that means space elements. That happened for the first time in 2012, and these drones were able to use flocking or swarming behavior. Now, of course, if we see some...
And they got that technology by looking at animals and stuff like that, how they, like, you know, how the birds fly, and how they be flocking and moving all in, like, a sequence and stuff, like, that's where they get this shit.
At first, we might actually think we're looking at a swarm of UFOs or something like that.
Drones?
Yeah.
I've never seen drones with lights like that.
Not in the daytime.
What the hell is it?
Definitely not in the daytime.
And it's still moving.
But the truth is, sometimes it isn't drones. And this is sort of what happened a couple of weeks ago in California when a family spotted something really awkward at night and started recording immediately. And this is what they saw.
Like a bunch of gnats up there, right?
It's not burning up. Oh. That's so trippy.
Yes,
What appears to be a bird murmuration can be seen at first, but then if you pay attention to it, it's not birds. Whatever this thing is, it's shining on its own.
Definitely not birds.
But it wasn't just seen once or twice, it was seen all over California, and there are dozens of videos of it. This, for example, is a very similar video, but this time you can actually...
Hey, if y'all personally recorded, like, this phenomenon right here, man, I need for somebody to email that to me. Or send it to me. However y'all can get it to me. It's crazy. I need to see this. I need to see this from a different perspective as well, you know?
See that these things are flying quite fast. Check this out.
And if it was that many drones together, you would be able to hear the drones buzzing. That many together, you would hear the buzzing everywhere. Because one drone is loud, bro.
In this other video, a family catches the same thing, but it appears to be way higher and moving much slower. Check this out.
You probably know Vistaprint for business cards. Yeah, we print that. But did you know we also print that? And that. And that. And that menu.
And we can't say it's satellites. Satellites don't move like that either. And they're not gonna risk their satellites getting too close. They crash and they cost too much money. And they take a while to make.
In this other video that was also taken in California, we can see what appears to be the same thing, but this time lower and faster. Check this out.
Oh my
That's how they be when they see some shit for the first time. Really. Ain't no secret about this stuff, y'all.
Whatever it is, it's most likely not Starlink because these are not satellites. You can see they're really below the clouds.
Hell yeah.
And it's not a drone show because a drone show behaves in a very different manner. So, what is it? What's your take?
That's wild. It's not birds, bro. The light are not, they're not bouncing off the birds like that. You know, we can troubleshoot this all day.
Legends
but
of...
One thing that we should all be able to, like, we should be able to come to some type of common ground with something. Absolutely right. You know, we're just speculating and stuff on here, and we have a fun time with it, y'all. It couldn't be no birds, though. Light, there wasn't enough light out there to be reflecting off of them like that. To, you know, this don't make sense. And then the drones, you hear the buzz. Satellites, you know, they're not gonna risk that. Them satellites move. Those satellites, they be up there, and you can get them to move in certain frequencies, you know, sequences. I like that.
Mermaids are well known and told with different forms and endings in an all oral tradition of people linked to the sea. From Denmark to the Spanish coast, there are many references in Europe to this creepy tale. The thing is, whether they exist or not is a complete mystery. Now, it is quite interesting that in all the different cultures that this story is told, it's basically the same thing. A humanoid creature with this fish-like tail that enchants sailors. Now, what's really interesting is that in the past couple of months, there was a YouTuber and Instagrammer by the name of Sauce90 who started posting videos of what he believed to be an encounter with these mermaids. He made live videos in which you can hear and actually see these supposed creatures.
Can you hear me?
I remember this in the place. I'm gonna watch
Yo,
this
that
again.
was instantaneous, bro. Oh, I gotta watch my step out here, man. God.
Now, I did make a full story on him, and if you want to check that out, this is the video, and I'll leave a link under the description. But after he posted a sequence of live videos, the internet went crazy about it, and it became a trend to hunt and explore the oceans in search for these mysterious creatures. And surprisingly, it seems that some of them have actually captured some kind of evidence. One video posted by Juan Irani 7 in Spain, we can hear what appears to be the singing of a mermaid.
Got this crystal out too.
Hostia, mira, 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 mira. Se acaba de poner a cantar. Se acaba de poner a cantar. Se acaba de poner a cantar.
Oh, I'm going home. You ain't gonna sing me
Este
into
canto
this
la
water.
verdad que es inigualable.
After a few moments, the hypnotic singing stops, and Juan Irani spots what appears to be some sort of creature emerging from the water.
Hostia, chaval.
The video amassed 10 million views at least and thousands of comments, and if the video is real or not, I'm not too sure. What I do find creepy though is the fact that there are hundreds of comments of people saying that they've actually heard something very similar at least once or twice in their lifetimes, which makes me think that this could actually be the real deal. But it gets even creepier. There are other YouTubers and Instagrammers searching for mermaids in the same place in Spain, in a beach called Costa Brava. And this other influencer by the name of Minuto Paranormal captured something chilling on camera while he was with his family and a large group of people. And this is what they saw.
Estamos todos acá mirando una sirena. Hay algo ahí.
Absolutely not.
Bueno, hay gente que está saliendo del agua que no.
Hey, they getting the hell up out that water though. Yeah. It look like like he in no rush though. I don't think he see it.
No sabemos qué es. Hay gente que está saliendo del agua.
But they got out though.
Mirando. Tenemos una sirena en el agua. Están todos mirando.
Whatever it is that's swimming in the water, it scares everyone away and it gathers everyone at that beach around to see it. Pretty sure this is not just some fish. And Minuto Paranormal and others at that beach around him believe it could be a mermaid. But I'm not too sure. It's very difficult to say just by watching this video. But Minuto Paranormal continued on capturing the event on camera, and this is what happens next.
There's the next, okay.
Que no sabemos de qué se trata.
That's gonna be it.
Está ahí. ¿Qué es lo que es, A toda la gente acá.
The final phase means nothing stays at the Homestead Furniture going out of business sale. Yes, we're closing forever and must liquidate the entire inventory now. Management's orders are to sell it all and sell it fast during this final phase, regardless of cost, regardless of loss. Many items.
Are they calling it a siren? It might, yeah.
Todos mirando. Queremos que salga a ver qué es.
After watching this video once or twice, I'm pretty sure that this thing is really big. But it's not a shark because there's no fin. And it's not a fish because a fish wouldn't just gather that many people around. So what is it? In your opinion, do you think mermaids could actually exist, or is it just a myth? And what is really going on in these videos? Have you ever seen anything like this yourself?
See, I don't mess with the water. I've been in the water before, and I had, you know. And then all of a sudden, the shark will show up. Like, bro, I ain't wasting my time with that. And then you seeing stuff like that in the water. Fish, like, that's got a mermaid in the water. You feel me? I'll just let it be, you know?
When I was younger, my grandparents used to tell me really strange stories of a boogeyman sort that lived in my neighborhood, and I always thought that they were kind of making it up, just to make sure that I would be an obedient kid. I know that most folk stories and fairy tales were actually made up just to make sure the kids obey and stuff like that. But the truth is, there is little to no information where the boogeyman story actually originated. It is thought to be derived from the word bogue, which means hobgoblin in Middle English, and the legend surrounding it may have originated in Scotland. Although it's not totally clear, there are reported references made to the boogeyman monster as early as the 1500s. But even though we know very little about its origins, one thing is for sure, the boogeyman loves to lurk in the shadows of the night and scare the heck out of disobedient people.
Oh my god. Nope. Nope.
And even though to this day I do not believe in the boogeyman monster, I can't find an easy explanation for this next video that we're about to watch. The video begins with two girls coming back home late at night, when all of a sudden they encounter a person acting really strange. They decide to record it all with their phone cameras so they kind of feel safer, and this is what they caught on camera.
Es la primera vez que voy así. La verdad, casi no salgo ni nada. Ya sé. Me encantó. Yo debería salir 1000 veces. Aquí es que nunca salen a fiestas, güey. No, pero sí estuve chido, güey. No, a mí sí me gustó, la verdad. ¿Pero los conocías? No, güey. ¿Tú? No, espérate, güey. ¿Qué pedo, güey? ¿Qué pedo con eso? ¿Qué pedo, güey? Buenas noches. ¿Qué pedo, güey? A ver, camínale rápido, güey. No, güey. ¿Qué pedo, güey? Güey, no pasa nada de carros. Güey, eso nos pasa por andar en fiesta, güey. No sé. ¿Qué pedo?
After coming across what appears to be a strange person on the street, the two girls are now arriving home. When they
Hey,
actually
that's how some of these weird dudes be looking when they be sliding to these girls' DMs. That's what they message be translating to. Fucking creepy. Like, that's wild, bro. Like,
spot what appears to be the same figure, but this time it starts walking in their direction. Completely scared, they run inside as fast as possible and start locking all the doors before this thing, whatever it is, comes in. And even though they lock all the doors as fast as possible, this thing appears to be absolutely everywhere.
oh, it got an ugly face on it.
The two girls start to realize that whatever it is that they're dealing with isn't a person after all. It's actually more of a ghostly figure maybe, or a boogeyman. But there's absolutely no explanation to what's about to happen, and they caught it all on camera, and this is what happens next.
I think it's mad because she got them dirty Air Force Ones on, man. It's like, you'll take them shits off, G. Like, not in my neighborhood, you know?
While locked inside the bathroom, they hear furniture moving and things of sort. They call a friend that quickly hurries up to their home, and this is what they captured on camera.
¿Quién es? ¿Quién es? Voy a llamar a la policía. ¿Quién es? Espérate, espérate.
When a couple of friends arrive, they come out and they notice loads of furniture knocked down, and they think it's finally all over, when all of a sudden they notice that whatever this ghostly entity is, it's still there.
Ow.
Check this out.
¿Qué pasó aquí?
A glass cup seems to fly out of the kitchen table out of nowhere, and now they're pretty sure that what they're dealing with isn't of this world. Nevertheless, they make sure the doors are locked, and this is what happens next.
Yo, they keep having stuff happen to them?
No, güey, al chile de repente un tipo bien raro nos empezó a seguir. ¿Qué pasó, güey? ¿Qué pasó, güey? ¿Qué pasó, güey? ¿Qué pasó? Güey, ¿estás bien? ¿Qué pasó? Ay, se sumó. Güey, no, güey, no.
You do your thing, and you do it well. Now, it's time to do it bigger. It's time for Shopify. Shopify makes it easy to set up your online store. Expand into new sales channels.
That whole shit right there seems fake. But anyway, I gotta take a bathroom break real quick. Oh. I'll be right back.
Farmer's Dog. They make and deliver fresh and healthy human-grade dog food right to your door. But here's the thing, this isn't...
That'd be fake though, you know what I'm saying? But this is going on a little bit too long to be, you know, faking them crocodile tears like that for average people. They came from that low vibrational party, man, and entity got down, pick up on that shit. Now they on your ass, he pulled up on you. Now he all in your crib. Vibrations, man.
And things start moving. A boogeyman in porch on their window.
That's where I'm at with it.
Do you think?
Once it went down though, moving front.
Telling that him and Biggie was really not fighting each other. That this was the magazine, this was the news people, this was their enemy that has created this whole thing. And the main reason that it was being pushed so hard is because Tupac, he said him and Biggie had got together and they'd come up with a way to take over distribution of rap music. And I told him then, I says, you know, that can get you killed. You're dealing with this mafia and that mafia, both. And he said, we know, we understand, but I told him, you and Biggie can't pull this off by yourself. And he said, no, we're meeting with other rappers, and we have a lot of other rappers on board. And he said, so Professor Small, when I get back in New York next week, I'm going to be at the fight tomorrow night. Get back in New York next week, I'm coming up to the house, we're going to talk. And I said, cool. And I handed the phone back to my daughter. And we would hear the next day that he was shot to death after that. But he was very clear. And it didn't end with Tupac. Right after Tupac got shot, you remember there was 2 rappers that got killed in Jersey also. They were part of the group with him and Biggie. Then of course Biggie would be killed later. But this all had to do with distribution.
Hey, you know what's crazy though? Like, you gotta think, look at the bigger picture, y'all. Look at the big picture, y'all. Look at the big picture. Rap game. Most of these people, especially if you sign with a record company, bro, when people went reading their contracts and stuff, and they got all these insurance policies out on y'all asses and shit, like, bro, if you're not making no money, they're gonna knock you off. Or if you're getting too big and you're somebody that's so influential that you can control the masses, and if you can get in touch with that distribution shit, you tap it into, like, bro, it's gonna. Hey, you know what I'm talking about? You know goddamn well. What about? Crazy out here. That's what you think. Dolph was getting too big too. He was too smart. Man, they had to get rid of him. They got to do that to all the greats. I'm telling you. Check these people. Real talk.
Okay, you guys.
Like Jay-Z said. Hey, like
one.
Jay-Z said, you still a nigga though. At the end of the day.
Because it is so crazy. Like, I might even have to do a part 2 because there's not going to be enough time. But everybody's been saying for a while now, oh my God, they're trying to silence Wendy Williams. What's going on? They took away her money. They shut down the show. All her social media platforms have been shut down. And they're wondering what's going on. Well, you know that a certain someone is supposed to be giving out names. And we all know that anyone that knows Wendy Williams, she's famous for airing out people's dirty laundry.
She will. She air your ass out.
She's got information, you guys, that she's too dangerous to have the ability and the platform that she normally has. You guys, we need to let everybody know what's going on because this is crazy. Like and let me know if you guys want me to do a part 2 with some more details.
Happened to the Empire of Tartaria. There are some people who believe that our civilization was built on the remnants of an ancient civilization that predated ours by thousands of years and was far more advanced. But our current civilization wiped it off the map and erased all history of it. That lost civilization is the Empire of Tartaria. Now, I don't know, because I wasn't there, but what if this was true? What could have caused a civilization so advanced to collapse and disappear overnight? A civilization that had mastered air travel, communication,
talking about
even
this.
had unlocked the secret
believe
to
it.
clean, renewable...
Bruce was Gotham.
He was a friend, a mentor, a protector.
You've always had my back when I needed you. I know you'll keep Gotham safe.
With the ongoing spree of homicides and kidnappings across the city, police are now urging citizens to remain indoors.
Let's knock some heads.
They're always watching, always listening. The Court of Owls has sentenced you to die. Nothing can stop what's coming.
Well, free energy. Proponents of the theory that Tartaria existed have an explanation. Tartaria was a civilization far more advanced than ours. They were benevolent to each other. They didn't have to pay for clean water and clean energy. They lived in peace for a long time.
So they might have off Wendy.
That was.
So they might have off Wendy. Look, I'm reading the comments and shit. Like, we already seen this one with the, the city that goes up and down and renewable energy and stuff. But look, you said they might have off Wendy. You don't know? You don't really at this day. Technology is crazy. Holographics. And for a while, a lot of people that y'all been seeing on TV, without y'all even knowing, they've been showing y'all this shit right in front of your face, that some of these people are really, they've mastered that. Just an experiment at first, and they've been doing it with other people. And I just got to get hip, man. Get hip. The craziness going on. A lot of stuff that a lot of people that don't watch these type of videos will never understand that. They want to live in fear and not knowing this information because it makes them feel uncomfortable. But look, man, you gotta. How you can weaponize your brain is to learn this information. So therefore, you can always be in your P's and Q's or as best as possible.
At odds with capitalism and industrialism and the rise of fossil fuels. So, capitalists from the West decided that they would destroy this empire, Tartaria, because it threatened their business model to harness dirty energy and sell it to the world and build a brand new civilization around that. So they did it. These early pioneers of the technology that we all enjoy today supposedly were the ones that used that technology to destroy Tartaria completely, and governments from around the world erased them from the history books so that none of us would remember that we're actually living in a post-apocalyptic world right now. At least that's the story that people who believe in this theory will tell you. Interesting? Shit. Yes. True. How would anybody know? If you want to get more content like this, swipe right and click the thing for more uncensored, unscripted content from amazing creators from all over the world.
Hey, we wouldn't even listen to the bro the whole time. Look, I'm reading y'all comments, man. Y'all talking about Wendy Williams' legs and shit, man. Look, y'all want to roast her? Goddamn, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Look, she did make a living out of talking shit. She did. Look, she might spill some information on some other extraterrestrial races because she looks like a light.
Like, y'all know those beings like everybody around the same time.
They got heads.
Somebody said that Wendy probably got an inside leak on some of that Epstein shit.
Mm-hmm. They said, bitch, you gonna shut up and sit down. It was already weird when she kind of like just passed out. Yeah, like it was the way she did it.
Again, looking weird and shit, She got some things going on.
Did you know that there's about 1,400 newspapers, 1,100 magazines, 9?
Look, y'all know them. Look, I'm gonna say it. Y'all know them tits ain't go with that body. Like she about to tip over. All right, I'm stopped.
1,000 radio stations, 1,500 different shows, 2,400 different publishers, and they're all owned by the same 6 companies: GE, News Corp, Disney, Viacom, and CBS. So the theory is that all 6 companies, they control basically every internet consumption that we have. They control all the news, they control all the shows that we're fed, so they pick and choose what we're being fed, and they change how we perceive things because they influence everything.
Nobody's gonna know. Nobody's gonna know. They're gonna know.
Yeah.
How would they know?
Yeah, I see it. It's right there. You can't deny it.
Now, I don't know exactly what China is doing here, but it does look awfully
They need to
close
stop
to the
that shit.
No, they're gonna know.
But we're being fed and they change how we perceive things because they influence everything.
Nobody's gonna know. Nobody's gonna know. They're gonna know.
Yeah.
How would they know?
Yeah, I see it. It's right there. You can't deny it.
Now, I don't know exactly what China is doing here, but it does look awfully
They need to
close
stop
to the
that shit.
energetically autonomous tactical robot, aka the Eaterbot. As the robot could forage for biomass to fuel itself, was canceled in 2022, as rumors speculated it could or would ingest humans. But it looks like China is right back on top of it. And maybe this bot has a different function, but just like when Boston Dynamics demoed their robot dogs dancing, China went straight into using them to enforce lockdown restrictions. And now they seem to be raising an army of these guys.
For what though?
Which I wonder, are these robot dogs going to ever replace their stormtroopers in the streets? Especially.
You know what? It might be certain laws on them on these robots and shit too, because you got to think, our soldiers and stuff. We got certain laws and regulations that they cannot open fire on like their own people. So you got to think with these robots. It might. I gotta look that up. It might be a way that they might be able to do the thing on us, man. If I don't know if they bounded by laws and shit. You know, we see. Appreciate you.
You gotta listen to this. It's really crazy.
Maybe it's time
Eating
for
niggas and shit.
investigative units into child trafficking to investigate Ball.com too. Oh, and Alibaba?
Listen to this.
Adrenochrome. Pages full of adrenochrome. Remember the highly adrenalized blood of children caused by severe trauma?
On sale.
You know, I always had a feling they sold this somewhere, but I
On
never
sale.
knew where.
Wine that gives you eternal life?
Isn't that fucking crazy, huh?
On sale. Y'all see it? Yeah.
Sweet. There's more.
Y'all see what it say though?
Please
Hold
watch
on.
the previous.
Y'all see what it says? Immortality serum obtained from adrenal glands of living children after they have been terrorized to get the highest levels of adrenaline. It has LSD-like qualities and is used in satanic rituals by monarchies, politicians, congressmen, celebrities, CEOs, and the elite. Right here, they doing it right in front of us. They don't give a fuck. That's gangster though. At least we know now.
Sweet. There's more.
Please watch the previous series, Fall of the Cabal, if you haven't just yet. Adrenochrome is connected to Pizzagate, child trafficking, sacrificial abuse, and now Alibaba, and thus Bill Gates.
Name attached to everything, ain't it?
You don't know. You will be surprised to know that this is a robot. It was created by Hong Kong researchers. This robot can go into small, difficult places to grab objects or do other tasks. Another special thing about this robot is that it can merge into one if it is accidentally broken in half or into many parts. And in the future, this robot will be used to pick up
You'll get professional delivery of your new mattress the very next day, only at Raymore Flanagan.
objects that we accidentally
I've seen this on
swallow,
here before,
but
yeah.
letting this robot get into our
that.
stomachs sounds a bit scary.
Look at that. That's that. Hey, that's what y'all got in that shot that y'all took. That zombie
Did you know the
19.
United States has their very own dark matter detector? You've been focused on CERN while LZ has been running since Christmas of last year. The $60 million project is underground electrons when dark matter is found. This whole time, they have been hoping that a dark matter particle would fly through space and eventually bounce off one of their Zion atoms. 5 hours ago, the world's most sensitive dark matter detector delivered significant results. At the same time, there was a green storm in South Dakota. The sky was literally green. Tornado sightings, or whatever that is.
My shirt was messed up. Got it on my elbow, my body.
Amateur shit.
Nah, that's naturally their ass. This shit changing.
Number one, I have a lot of shit sitting on.
Check
But
this shit
not
out for
just
50
that,
minutes. You're gonna want to hear
it's
this.
hard for me to find a
Netflix
level
it all,
spot.
you know exactly who this is.
So-
This is 11, and she plays in the hit series Stranger
I'm not just gonna
Things.
do
Did you
one
know Stranger
coaster
Things
at a
is actually
time.
based on
Like,
a
that's
real life
just so
MK Ultra?
tedious to do
Okay,
reservoirs.
involuntary
Yeah.
patients
You're
and
not
tested
gonna
mind
just do
control.
one thing.
This guy right here looks
So I
weird
did two
too. That's the real
canvases,
Dr. Brenner who was
a
a
layer
scientist
of
on MK Ultra. And he looks almost identical to the Dr. Brenner in Stranger Things. Alice Johnson, she was one of the test subjects to MK Ultra. She's suspected to be Eleven's mom in the series. Everything is also based off experiments of Montauk. Montauk right here. Four things from here really weird.
I saved it.
This is Al Pilot, and he's apparently a survivor of Montauk. In 1983, he told the world that Montauk had opened a portal. Al also said that whenever they opened the portal, a huge beast came through, and that they would take their patients, strap them into a chair, and make them lift objects. Only a few documents were released from MK Ultra, so there's only so little that we know. So is there more to the story that they're not telling us? And can Stranger Things be warning us in some way? It's definitely interesting to think about, so let me know what you think in the comments. And as always, click that free Discord link in the bio.
Facts though, look, they show y'all this stuff in the public domain because they have to. Just like in the next, like, pretty soon, maybe the next couple months, can't put a time frame on it, or in the next couple years that they're going to have to come out and tell y'all that forms do exist. Simple, y'all. It's simple. And when they're doing these experiments and they're punching holes, punching portals, what you think they're doing at CERN? If you move these particles fast enough, what they found out that they disappear. When they disappear, the particles turn, they basically go into a different realm, hole into like nothing basically, you feel me? So they can punch portals, y'all. But the science behind it is real. You can make these particles, what you think they're doing in there? When particles move fast enough, they're going to be able to punch portals. And stuff is on the other side, naturally. People that don't know.
It's incredibly stupid to do this.
This is a story on why I don't think flat earthers are stupid. I once did. I once thought they were absolutely crazy, like, these people still exist? How can anyone think the earth is flat? I'm not a scientist. I know nothing about what our earth looks like, but I will tell you this. I'm a professional effects and video editor. And one day, about in 2014, I was putting together a video for a client, and they wanted some shots of the earth from space. So I said, okay, that should be easy. Let me go look this up. I thought surely there would be some stock footage from a satellite, recording video of our earth. Why not? I could not find any. Everything that I found was CGI and fake. I'm like, why is this all fake? Official NASA website releasing footage that's CGI. I spent the next 3 days digging at all of this archives and ISS footage, surprisingly find out that they use green screen and everything's fake. I don't know what the Earth looks like, but I guarantee you NASA is lying to us.
And lying to us.
I have something really epic to show everybody, and I hope
NASA shouldn't stand for NASA, you know what I'm saying? But it shouldn't say NASA, it should say nah, son. You know what I'm saying? Because a nigga gonna lie to you right out back.
here for it, because spellings. Both spellings of Berenstein Bears. Berenstein, Berenstain. What's going on in the universe? I feel like there are two universes just duking it out, and I am almost positive at this point that they're both vying for worst timeline. What's going on? What the fuck is happening in this fucking world?
stupid. That's what.
Can somebody tell me why is CERN lying about live streaming footage that we need to see?
Uh-oh.
Look at it. Look at it. It's zooming in. Just wait for it.
You shouldn't be
All right, I'm
surprised.
sure everybody knows what this is, where the oceans meet, salt water and
You see this white line? Guys, there's like a line. Okay, you can see it. It's coming through. Hang on, I gotta go this way.
you watch this. This is a recording from a lady, I think 2 days ago.
Okay, I'll go the other way. Okay, wait a minute. See this? Okay, and there's like the sun looks like it's going down. That's. I don't know what direction that is at the moment. Let's worry about this. Okay, look.
Thinking what I'm thinking. Waters above, waters below. Amen.
Was telling me about Epstein's island fucking decade ago, at least. He was telling me about it. I was like, what? You're telling me there's a place where they bring elites to compromise them with underage girls and they film them? Really? Like, what? Cut the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Like, no, President Clinton's been there. Everyone's been there. Like, what? It sounds like nonsense. And not only is it true, but people keep getting fucking murdered for it. Did you see that latest Clinton advisor that got murdered about it?
Yep.
Yeah. Hung with an extension cord, shot himself in the chest 30 miles from his house, and they're calling it a suicide.
You don't shoot yourself in the chest, bro. You don't shoot yourself in the chest. We already know what that is, y'all.
12 hours ago, I found out that the CIA had released a report that back in the 90s in Siberia, a UFO came down to a military base, so of course they blew it up. 3 beings crawled out of the wreckage. They said they were gray. They formed into a giant white orb, shot that light at the guards, and 26 guards turned into solid limestone instantly. They shot a light from their bodies and turned these people into stone statues. So, first thing in my head, Medusa, right? Probably a real story now based on an alien, not a human. Second thing that pops into my head is in China, they found all those guards, right, buried underground, the statue guards, and it's a lot of them. Like, it's a lot. It's a whole lot. What if they were an army that fucked with the wrong aliens? Like, and those are actual people.
The way to go right there. You ain't just gonna turn me into stone like that, nigga.
Two were once up. Close Encounter of the Fifth Kind is when.
Oh, yeah, that's the song right there. Woo! I had to look. We gotta. Yeah, that one gone. Nope, still playing. You see the lights? They talk. Yes, it's a drone right there and everything. Yeah. I have to just skip that one, y'all. I'm sorry.
Check out this new concept. This concept of conceiving kids. Now the mother will no longer have to carry the kid for 9 months. Now it can be raised in a bag. How convenient.
That.
Mothers will no longer have to sacrifice their time and, most importantly, their bodies. Does this sound like something you would be interested in?
Absolutely not.
I would love to tell you this is a new concept.
I know I ain't the one carrying it, but
if you know
damn.
anything about human cloning, you would know they've been doing this for quite a long time. Only now is it finding its way to consumers. What's your thoughts on this? Please leave it in the comments. Unanswered Universe.
Hey, you see her face though, bro? That's the face of like pure just fucking evil, y'all. You know, they sit down there and they think about the most fucking crazy shit to do with our money. Payers' money, pay for it around, and they do this. The money. Meanwhile, that's living on the street, but that's about to live on the street. You got kids that can't eat a meal every day. In these labs, figuring out grow motherfuckers in sacks. It's a lot more to life than it's a lot more that goes into carrying a child.
situation for the mother and the child. Understand? Y'all get where I'm coming from? You being carried in that sack. Like, that's a bonding experience. It's a part of coming into this world. Now they're trying to make everything unnatural, just like the foods that most people eat. And this.
Custom framing is preserving what's important to the customer, but doing it in a creative way.
Down a little bit. I don't like his music anyway. I didn't see it though.
Yeah, we can grab from the top. Like, grab from the top and the back. Yeah.
I don't even know if we'll be able to get that out. It's kind of
We're likely going to see a food shortage pretty soon here in the near future, but this is not to scare you. This is to inform you. If you watch a full video on your For You page, let it be this one, because this is going to be a lot of shit that you're going to be like, what the fuck? Alright, so let's start off by saying that in the Netherlands right now, the government is forcefully taking people's farms. Forcefully. Because they want to reduce carbon emissions, or nitrogen emissions, is what they say. The farmers are reacting.
They don't give a damn about that.
They're protesting.
Well, I say other countries really care about their food. It's been happening here in America, like you say, for a long time. But now these other countries, like, I can't farm, I can't do this, and that's why it's getting so much publicity. Americans too stupid to realize, like, our food should be our medicine, and that's why other countries ban like so many additives and so many food colorings, and America hasn't, and we just don't know no better. And now they're like, yo, y'all fucking with our food stuff. I can't farm if I don't use these pesticides.
Hunger is not a problem. Hunger is an asset.
And yeah, and that's why I got down. Like, everybody worry about that shit now.
Vegan propaganda. I myself even went fucking vegan after watching a Netflix documentary, which Netflix is also posting movies, documentaries.
I seen What the Fork, and I went vegan for like 5 months.
I give a fuck.
Yeah, what's on your What the Fork, or what's on your fork? Or?
Like nothing you've ever tasted, like a hairy nut.
There was also this video going around of thousands of dead cows that died from overheating in Kansas. Yeah, not one survived. All of them died. I'm just gonna like kind of censor this. So, I have a friend in the Netherlands who says that this is all true. So like I said, this is not to scare you guys. This is just to like bring a little bit of awareness to what could possibly be going on. So maybe prepare a little bit, stock up on an extra piece of food every time you go out. That's what I'm gonna be doing. And drop a like if you think I should do a part 2 on this.
Look, to prepare yourself, man, y'all better start intermittent fasting. Everything that's not natural to this earth.
So you can grab a tablet if you want.
All these unnatural, I'm gonna keep saying this every video, all these unnatural food places. They process this food and stuff that's bad for us. It's getting burnt down.
I'd rather get my car taken care of sooner than later.
It's getting burnt down. Everything unnatural to this planet has to go. Take it how you want to take it. That's the truth. That's what's happening. Shit, like government is.
If you're African American or black, you're a big shit.
So let's get to the footage. Hope you guys enjoy it.
And here to present the
this dude's lit.
of tonight's bold journey, John Stevenson. Deep in the jungles of French Guiana, Mr. Herman Jessup, the Amazon trader, makes his way up the Moroni River, aided by friendly natives, the primitive Indians along its banks, for their spears, baskets, and primitive artifacts, and often has to eat only what nature provides.
This little boy is one of the sons of the Bushmen, and I gave him a piece.
Y'all see what he looked like?
That's what he did with it. He couldn't figure it out. Hole our way into the In another part of the village, we see one of the girls fixing the hair of.
Look, I'm gonna stop that shit right there. Y'all see how they want to lie to you and shit? Want to lie? Clearly, people that tripping. Am I tripping? Let me know live. Am I tripping? Put the 9s in there if y'all agree with me. Black people, man. People. We're not black. If you understand the way that the light works, we're actually the lightest people. That's why we're light beings. And only reflects green. It reflects green, bro. Like I ain't gonna break it all the way down to y'all. Y'all get it, bro. Like, but whatever you show up as is what your body is not. See all the 9s coming through. Want to just because there's too many people over here that already teach about this type of stuff. And I don't want to be that, you know, breeze over some shit. So y'all can do your investigation. Y'all can figure out the rest for yourself. I'm not the one that's gonna spoon feed everybody, you know. But these are clearly black people, and y'all see it right here. I just want to pause right here because they want to keep lying. This is the reason why you don't get reparations, people. That's because the land belongs to us. Money in the world to ever replenish what we lost. Get the fuck out of here.
Chief of the village. This is another little baby of Tutu. And the girl is winnowing rice into this native Pony Bushman village. And the paddle I'm trading here with these Bushmen. One of the native girls brought us some fruits, and we are trading it for this anti-oil can. Shoving off on our way now to the next Pony village of Assisi. And you see the way these boys are built with their shoulders and muscles, that they really are good for this type of work.
They're very stocky people, Mr. Jess.
Oh yes, they're very healthy, and they're really children of nature. The language is taki-taki. It's a language of about 300 words. I learned to respect these people. I never lost anything. On the whole trip, everything was kept in order. And as I came to these villages, they all brought me gifts and eggs and rice, and I was really treated royally going out there. The town of Assisi, the second Pony village, is a bakery. You see, these people are very primitive, but still in all they are of high moral quality. They don't know hate, they don't know jealousy and envy. These people were very much interested in trading with me, and of course, dancing and making friends came first. It's kind of a combination of cha-cha-cha and merengue.
They can only lie to you for so long.
Now, the little ones get into the act, and this one to the right is the son of the chief. We leave this little town of Assisi, and we are hitting some very fierce rapids now. The Oyana Indians are the Indians who live further up the river, and they have long hair, men and women alike, and we are trying to see whether we can get permission to get up further into that country and have them guide us. I love to do as they do, and I think the best way to go into these native places is to dress just the way they do.
If you call me a Freemason one more time, bro, I'm gonna kick you out of here. Stop
What the
fuck? Said, okay? That'll be my last warning to you. I usually don't block people and stuff. Just stop saying stupid stuff. I hate when people try to tell me that I'm something that I'm not. Alright?
This nigga a Freemason, y'all. Don't listen to his shit. Come to my channel.
In that respect, we are now starting to trade with the natives. Our boat was 50 foot long and 4 feet wide, and there were 4 of us going on this long trip up the Moroni River.
Message. Facts, man. Look. A lot of people, man, a lot of our people go along their days, man, just believing that, believing all the bullshit, man. And that's frustrating sometimes, but I think in this type of setting, it's easier for people from everywhere to digest this information. Decipher what's right or wrong. We know what's right and wrong, bro. We know what it is. See, our people didn't know. And what do you see currently to today, in today's society? You see jealousy everywhere. That's because they gave you this false illusion of things that don't even matter, like all these cars, jewelry, all this other shit that don't matter and you want to fight over. But we had everything. Comedic times, you know, we had everything. We didn't fight. Our people were so nice, and that's why we got taken advantage over like that. We didn't. Our own issues too as well, but we didn't know jealousy, anything like that. Those times. But I think that's weak too at the same time.
Y'all still with that bullshit? Come on, man.
Definitely weak.
NASA was the first organization that has ever claimed the Earth was round. Like the Mayans, the Aztecs, people who were way smarter than us, way more advanced than us, the people who built the pyramids, the people who created the Mayan calendar, all these people believed the Earth was flat. And then NASA came about and said, no, the Earth's round. And everybody just fell in suit. And now you got NASA and SpaceX. Brainwashed. If you were taught from an early age that the Earth is flat, and I tried to tell you the Earth was round, you'd be doing the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just what you were taught from an early age. They never gave you any proof that the Earth was round. Nothing. They just said, hey, this is what it is, and that's what you led your life to believe.
If you enjoyed that clip, give us a follow, like, and share.
All right, for real, check it out.
Yes, Cat, I appreciate the 10 bones.
Because it's telling a vision. On this television are channels where they channel the vision. And within these channels are programs where they program us with the vision. And within these programs are the cast. So they cast the vision onto us. So we watch a television that channels a cast that programs us with visions. Funny how the news is called broadcast. There has to be pros and cons to all of this. Check this out. Gress. Pretty much to take a step. That's where we would get the word progress, because it means to take a step forward, to move forward. So if pro is progress, then con is congress, right? Isn't that funny? Congress? Con. Pretty much making someone believe something deceptively. You know, contract. So remember that the next time you sign a contract. You know what they say, real lies, real lies, real lies.
Okay, but did you guys know that the amount of pollen that's in the air right now is actually not a natural occurrence? Because y'all know palm-colored people touch everything up, right? The reason that everybody and their mamas is getting jumped by pollen and allergies recently is because we have more trees producing pollen now than we ever had in the past. It is called botanical sexism. We all know that America doesn't want to plant trees that produce fruit because that would be feeding people without them paying for it. What kind of trees bear fruit? Female trees. So they literally do not plant any female trees, and they only plant male trees. What do male trees produce? Nothing but pollen. So if you think that there's been an unnatural rise in pollen and allergy, you are correct.
Hey, what she say? Message. You know what I'm saying? She said message. Like we got time to do another one. Time to do another one. So y'all just hang in there. Hold on. I want to do a poll right now. All right. I'm gonna do a poll. I'm gonna figure out how to do this. How many of y'all right here? Oh, don't y'all leave. But we're gonna do another video. Okay, so the poll is in there. Say, Nina Gia, I appreciate you. Yes, Cat, I appreciate you. Definitely. Naturals, I appreciate you. Much love, brother. Appreciate it. Much love to you. Go ahead, vote on that thing. Damn.
Damn. We at 83%, man. Saying it's flat. Man. 100 oh man, we gotta get everybody in here to take part in this poll, man. We should have like what, like 2,400 people voting right now. That's crazy. I think it's flat. It's round. I can't actually see the y'all can't see. Why this is so funny? I said flat. Oh, that shit flat. Oh, that's crazy. I'm about to end this poll in a second. Some of y'all just don't want to be interactive, but it's cool. I get it. Some of y'all just sit back and watch. Hold on. This is my call, y'all. See if she want to talk. Hello? Hey, I like your hair. Okay. Yeah, it's gonna be like this, man. Like, it's crazy. Crazy. No, man. Man should have to go through this. I'm gonna end the poll, though. Yeah, I heard that. It's crazy. That's what happens with programming. The programming. Stop doing that, man. That's terrible, man. You know what though? I'm gonna tell y'all something. I gotta tell you every time this shit happen, man. Like, you just gotta be strong out here, man. Like, it's internal, man. You gotta stay in there. You gotta some inspiration for some people that's going through the same similar shit that I'm going through, because I know, you know, ultimately I'm not in this by myself, man. I'm not in this by myself, and I know there's other people that go through worse situations than myself. But what we can do, man, is lead by example, and, you know, adults, you know, adults. Be somebody that your kids can look up to. Be somebody that after all the dust and stuff settles, that your kid can look up to you and be like, yo, that's my dad. That motherfucker's awesome. Right now, your kids ain't gonna know if they're young. They're not gonna know all the stuff that you go through. You just got curved, Troy? Yeah. Cool though. It's cool though. She ain't got nothing to do with that though. She ain't got nothing to do with it. That ain't her. That ain't her. That's why you can't, once you start to understand why people do the things they do, you get a deeper understanding, bro, that people are doing stuff intentionally to try to hurt you, and you can't let that bother you. You gotta keep pressing forward, because I'm gonna be great regardless. That's what OG stands for. I'm only great. I'm only great. And I believe that. I stand on that shit. And there's nothing that they can do to stop me, rock me out of my position, trick me out of my position. I'm good, bro. I'm only great. And that's what the fuck I stand on. And we're gonna do another video, y'all. I appreciate y'all. I tell you, man, people try to ruin your day, man, with bullshit, but, you know, keep pressing forward. Earn beats. Hey, I appreciate that. I'm gonna check out your beats though, too. I'm shopping for new beats and shit right now. I make beats too, but I'm shopping for some more. I might drop an album on y'all, or drop some diss tracks on some YouTubers or some shit.
The Centers for Disease Control announced a startling discovery. Long-forgotten vials of smallpox, one of the deadliest and most feared diseases in history. It was thought to be wiped out, but there it was in a cardboard box in a storage room just outside Washington, D.C.
We also face a new threat that the next epidemic has a good chance of originating on a computer screen of a terrorist intent on using genetic engineering to create a synthetic version of the smallpox virus.
Vials labeled smallpox found in a lab in Montgomery County.
Saying on my track, I
so
bet.
deadly. Only 2 labs in the entire world are allowed to have doses. Those vials were found at a Merck facility in Upper Gwinnett Township, Montgomery County, where vaccine research is conducted.
Say, okay, what if a bioterrorist brought smallpox to 10 airports? You know, how would the world respond to that?
A truck hauling 100 monkeys collided with a dump truck outside Danville, and 3 of the monkeys got out. They arrived in the U.S.
Fuck that. They just. I'm gonna be real with y'all, man. They just rolling around here with monkeys, bro. Imagine somebody hitting a vehicle full and the monkeys just jump out and they all. Bro, that's crazy. And they got diseases and shit, bro. Look, they got smallpox sitting in boxes. Wow. This one you thought you
Last
heard
week
of.
from Mauritius, a country in Eastern Africa. They were being from New York City to a CDC-approved quarantine facility. The 3 that escaped posed a health risk to the public, CDC officials told us today. Macaques can pass deadly viruses to humans. This morning, a Massachusetts man is in isolation after being diagnosed with the first case of monkeypox in the U.S. this year. Dr. Chin Hong says monkeypox can spread through the sharing of any bodily fluid.
It behooves us all to think about a pandemic response.
Could be that individuals are not as immune to monkeypox as they once were as a result of smallpox vaccination. That's why we see the ordering of the vaccine.
You know, we'll have to prepare for the next one. That, you know, I'd say is will get attention this time.
That girly man right there just buying up everything and fucking manipulating it. He's looking like, bro. I'm convinced he's an alien, bro. Like, I appreciate that. Oh, okay, got some more beat makers in this joint. All right, bet. I'm gonna try to check y'all out.
What I tell you guys on the last video, these are all traders. All these farmers, every single one of them are flying. They're all traders, and it must be stopped. This is a planned famine. Traitors to the people of America.
Powell showing love for South Carolina. I appreciate it.
You
My
guys,
people originally
you know
from
I
South
do my own
Carolina.
research, so I want you to look in Canada and just have a gander over here at this MySpace. Just wait. You're about to see something.
Mm-hmm.
Keep watching.
And
Are
boom.
you ready?
About to go inside. Y'all tried this before?
Oh, here we go.
What y'all think they're doing there? Just having a little good time in their tents.
Boom. Look at that.
They're playing hide the stick.
Trying to.
I'm telling you, look, hey, we been on that, but
most scariest.
A lot of people think that you're gonna fly to Mars in a ship and shit. Like, that's not how it is, man. They got y'all programmed for the wrong things, bro. Like, you're not flying, you're going through portals.
Things caught on live TV. So this guy and his friend was watching the news when a clip with the Pope popped up on the TV. And they both noticed when the Pope walked away out of nowhere, he just disappeared. Right after this happened, they had all the videos took down. You could barely find it anywhere anymore. These 2 news reporters was live on a local TV station when a cup on the table just randomly moved. And you could tell immediately they both got uncomfortable, but they had to play it off like they was good. This man's name right here is Teddy Perkins, and his identity is a mystery. So he was supposedly played by Childish Gambino in a movie, but at the Emmy Awards, he showed up and took a picture with Childish Gambino. And it's always been a mystery about if Michael Jackson had really passed or if he faked his death. People was already looking at it kind of funny, but then he said this.
Let's talk about what happens when a hood
I wouldn't want to be neither one of them niggas. So, like,
gets his foot through the door of the industry. Some people say he's a legend. Some people say he's a con artist. But me, I say he's the biggest finesser, but with the illest intentions. Everybody that he's done business with and everybody he's done met, from where he's from to when he got into the industry, always
always got the upper hand and always got his money, and always the person that he came in contact with never won. He robbed, stole, and cheated his way to the top. So this series right here is going to be called Surviving Birdman. I don't know if it's a marketing move or just how he moves, but this videos and this series is going to tell you everything that you need to know about this guy, Brian Christopher Williams, aka Birdman.
That in the dress, was that him? That wasn't him.
Did you know that the
Birdman wasn't trying to be no bad beat? No, he wasn't. That wasn't him. Did I miss something? I was just watching, bro. Like, so anyway, when they started talking about him, I just wanted to skip to the next, man. It is, look.
Security guard that got killed in the Buffalo supermarket shooting was actually working on a water-powered car. Meet Aaron Salter Jr. He was an ex-cop and now a security guard that gave his life trying to protect people during a shooting at a grocery store in Buffalo, New York. But what you may not know is he was working on a water-powered engine for vehicles. He actually got to work on his truck. I bet you did.
Hold on, what did he say? What's up with this, this man looks, sound like a Mason. Bye. Nigga, I'm blocking you. Heard about saying bye.
This is the video explaining how it works on YouTube. Make sure to check it out after this. And this is where it gets crazy. There's reports of the shooter's parents claiming that the FBI groomed the son to do this. They claim the FBI came and made routine visits to their son leading up until this event. His views on radicalism changed drastically as those meetings progressed. Would the government really orchestrate something like this? If they did, it'd be for one of these two reasons, if not both. With gas prices going up and oil companies at an all-time.
It's nice to unwind after a long week of telling people how Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need. Is it natural? Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
High to keep oil and gas companies booming and try to create more racial division. What do you think?
Birdman, Birdman, Birdman. See, the crazy thing about Birdman is other people, they will finesse people that they don't know. Some, people that you just met. But no, he went after the close ones. Family, friends. The most infamous person that we know is Lil Wayne. And that's because they made the most money together, and he kept them under his arm like a lucky charm. But Birdman, he was no normal person in the hood. His dad was in the military, and his mom knew everybody around town. Him, his mom, and his two other siblings stayed in the house by his dad, went overseas, and did what he did. That gave Birdman the time to run around, meet other people, and make connections around the neighborhood. That's when he met Eldridge and Slim, which was his older brother and the owner of Cash Money. Him and the people that he met in the neighborhoods over at Uptown Ward, Louisiana, making connections, talking to people, and ended up getting with the wrong crowd, of course, because he's in the hood over in the 90s in New Orleans. So while Baby was making plays and making moves, there was about 9 different wards, which were gangs back in the day. But the thing about Birdman, he learned early. He knew to be cool with everybody else, keep things solid, and have water under the bridge at all times. This was what made Birdman untouchable in New Orleans. Because while everybody else was fighting each other, Birdman was cool with everybody, making plays, and, setting up for the bigger goal. While Birdman was making most of the money, Cash Money was rapping. About 30 albums came out in that year, plus 6 came out the next year after that. He knew something had to play. So he invested his money to the rappers, BG, took the 3.
Show business don't know.
Hey, look, man, I don't give a damn about that. Like, seems like he don't like Birdman. It's all good. I'm gonna keep going on that shit. Like, I don't got time for Birdman to be pulling up on me. He probably watching this video. Hey, nigga, you gonna put some respect? I ain't got time to be dealing with that shit, man. Cause I'm a different type of dude, man. A lot of these dudes wanna play that politics. I ain't gonna do it with you.
I have no idea. You don't know. Jimmy Fallon doesn't know. David Letterman doesn't know. We don't know. All the comics and show business don't know what this is. Right? Yeah. What is it? Come on, Jimmy. Seriously, the time is up. People are hip to this kind of stuff. I'm here tonight to blow the lid off it to be the whistleblower. I'm sick and tired of the secrets and the lies. It is the secret symbol of the Illuminati, and you're a part of it, and it is the all-mocking tongue. It's the symbol of the all-mocking tongue. And I'm sick of it. I want everybody to be in on the joke, man. You know what I mean? Like, for years now, talk show hosts, people on television, people in sitcoms have been hired by the government to throw you off the track, to distract you, to make you laugh and stuff like that, make you happy and docile so you don't know what's really going on. You know? And they get out there in the woods in a circle naked and they decide these things. And, you know, and you know, look at them trying to come out. It's hilarious, hilarious. And, you know, and I'm sick of, hold on a second. You know what they're trying to do? They're trying to turn us into, you know.
Pay attention to his demeanor change when he answers the phone.
I just got to get this. And, yeah, listen, I'm in the middle of blowing the lid off some. What happened? I'm sorry, Jimmy. I was temporarily interrupted by my iPhone 6 Plus. That's a big one, huh? 5.5 heads-up HD display. I think what I was really trying to say is I think people really enjoyed Dumb and Dumber this weekend.
And that is what I thought you were about to say.
We should all go to the theater. We should all go to the theater tomorrow and see it. Because we could use a good laugh. Ha 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 ha.
Part 3.
No, we not going. No, we not. No, we not, nigga. No, we not. I'm on a little bro. Look. Ain't that deep, bro. I don't want to hear about another Birdman story, bro. Hold on, too. Pause.
Oh, Elon Musk may actually just be building a hole that this time is too deep to get out of. Elon Musk has been hinting a lot at the truth. And if you guys remember, just a few weeks back, he stated on Twitter, if I die under mysterious circumstances, it's been nice knowing you. And then for him to come back not even a week later and say a claim like this on Twitter, I think Elon trying to let us know something. And if you guys aren't aware of what Elon is talking about in this tweet, let me give y'all a quick overview. So if y'all remember during the end of Trump's presidential campaign, speculations of things like tax fraud, tensions between North Korea, and even about him having a failed presidential term as well. Look, that information there was used to lie by a Clinton campaign lawyer to the FBI. Just like the information that got out about Trump's campaign chairman, Manafort. So after the world hearing this news about Trump's presidential campaign, he was already scheduled to go to Vietnam to meet North Korea dictator Kim Jong-un. Yes, he was persuaded by this campaign to go, even though we already had rising tensions with North Korea and Russia. Before attending this interview with Kim Jong-un that they set up, the Trump administration decided to ask the Kremlin, aka the citadel of Russia, for advice. I reckon he took the advice that they gave and then proceeded to go along and have this meeting with Kim Jong-un. And after this interview with Kim Jong-un, Russia's state TV criticized, laughed, and humiliated Trump, saying that he would equalize his approach to a dictator, that he would even talk to him and deal with him as if he's a regular person. And while they bashed Trump, they also praised Kim Jong-un for getting a negotiation or a talk with the United States president and seen as an equal throughout this negotiation. There is much, much, much more than where that came from. But yes, the Clinton campaign created this whole hoax about Trump and Russia, and Elon seeing right through it. So what could be next? A lot of y'all said that he could be part of the 1%, or he could just be trolling or playing his part. Well, right here, he's definitely doing his best impersonation of some of the people on this planet. And if I'm honest, I'm scratching my head too. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments.